Matt, we starting. Hurry. Are we live?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to It's Geeky episode 20. Fantasy.
420?
Tonight, we're be talking about all things fantasy, from The Hobbit to D&D.
George R. Martin. George R. Martin's love for wieners.
He does love his
Wiener
wieners.
party, wiener party.
I'm your host, Rock, with Hulk with...
Who's crushing his head?
Yes.
Although, call it Titty Hulk or something like that.
Titty Hulk. It's Titty Hulk. Hulk crushed by titties. And as always, we have Nikachu.
Hello.
Pig maybe.
Danger
He might have fell asleep.
He might be doing this later. Don't know. Whatever.
Probably no. He might be tied up in his basement and getting raped like Zed from fucking Pulp Fiction, and you don't want that. So, if anyone is in his like general area, go check on Matt. Make sure he's not getting anally raped by Zed. No, Zed was the one getting anally raped.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what?
Yep.
I totally fucking forgot before I started I forgot to turn on the Q&A. So. You can either post things on the Facebook page if you have any questions or comments you want to add in. We'll do our best.
You can't turn that on mid-session.
Yeah, no, I have to start it. I have to set it up beforehand.
Oh, that's
why I
weird.
usually
Okay.
test everything.
Thanks, Google Plus, for being lame.
Yeah, I know. Q&A. Yeah, it's not activated, so I'm like, I have to do it beforehand.
So, are you gonna? So, you following that? Because usually Matt's following that.
Yeah, we don't have the capabilities for this computer
It
to
locked
do
the computer.
multiple things.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, we'll just have to look on Facebook. You can either hit us up on comments, either fucking chat us up on Facebook, anything.
Did you
The
post the
link's
link?
already been posted. It's on Facebook already.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so fantasy tonight, covering everything from the fucking Hobbits to George R. Martin's fucking dick love, the fucking Labyrinth, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Exciting. I love it.
So we know Nick can talk
So
like you can dance all night or
he brought up this idea for fantasy because in like a month or so, fucking the last episode of The Hobbit's coming out. Thank God.
if you guys aren't with it, you know that many years ago not George R. Martin, what is it, Peter Jackson, he put out 3 long ass movies, and then he said, wait, there's a prequel, so I'm gonna put it into 3 more long ass movies, and I ain't gonna lie.
Because the Hobbit book itself is not even longer than any of the books.
The shortest one,
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
They put stuff I think for the movie, but my thing is, man, I got the attention. I got through the first one of The Hobbit, and then, oh, there he is. Hey, we were wondering if you, like, fell asleep.
No, I was asleep. My phone didn't ring for the notification, and then I just woke up. I saw on Facebook Brian said just getting off the can like 10 minutes ago, so.
Well, dude, well, you know what? I told everyone in your neighborhood that maybe they want to check to make sure you weren't getting anally. I'm like, for all we know, he might be getting anally raped and maybe need trouble. We need to check on him.
No, I was sleeping because usually I take a nap and then the notification wakes me up, and I get on and I'm like, all right, time to go. But for some reason it didn't ring this time on my phone. So.
I give you credit because I gotta get even if from a nap, I gotta wake up a little more before I just tackle that. I'd be like, oh, let me get some coffee and fucking.
I have my channel off too.
I literally got off work, man.
What was that, Brian?
I literally just got off work not too long ago and shit.
Well, I'm self-employed, so, you know.
You are not self-employed.
By self-employed, I mean unemployed.
Don't confuse self-employed and self-loving.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
This means so late. But into that.
Good time.
So,
Quinoa.
man, we were sort of talking about some long-ass Peter Jackson Hobbit movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually just finished the second Hobbit movie the other day, The Desolation of Smaug.
Was that good? I didn't start it just because I knew it.
I like it. It's actually, out of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies, it's the best of all of them so far, I think.
Well,
Because Benedict
I was gonna
Cumberbatch
say,
is
you
in
get
there.
double batch of Cumberbatch.
Double batch of coming batch.
What?
Come on, man. Shut up.
Are we
Yeah,
already
he,
going?
he makes women swoon, man.
Oh,
So
so
all it takes is waking up the dragon. The dragon just woke up, and he's already going there.
You know what's
Nice.
really fucked up, guys?
good morning.
Apparently, I don't know how to spell fantasy, and I put an S instead of an N. So it's
Fantasy.
this is episode fasty. I just have to look at like I just misspelled fantasy. That's funny.
So you can go with that one.
So wait, do we even do what everyone's drinking tonight?
No, we have not. Tonight, we already know what you're drinking.
Well,
Asian Hulk with boobs has got fucking natty ice. Nika Chan
But I also like to put out that I got this nice little
Gee.
I got this silver bubba going on from the Sanctuary over at but not to say that, you know, don't give a call to Finest Kind if you're in the San Diego area, but fucking with a nice little bit of chief on this bowl just for the fantasy occasion to keep it extra elf and linkish green.
yeah, Elf and Lincoln.
Well, Lincolnshire, but I was thinking like Link from like his green little outfit. That's kind of fantasy.
That is fantasy.
Fantasy.
Zelda.
Final Fantasy, that's fantasy too.
Mm.
We can get a lot of
It can be.
So I don't have.
You haven't seen the title.
Yeah, I don't have my camera on today because I'm not really feeling that great. I had allergies again, and so I'm trying to get my picture to be the Cadbury egg car.
Oh no.
That was cute. I saw that today.
I like that.
But I
Hey,
found
go
Nika,
ahead.
you're gonna shit your pants when I post this on Facebook in a second.
Uh-huh.
This may be even cooler than the Cadbury car.
There's a,
Shit. I can't. Oh. We have to put a picture up. We can't run like Facebook and Google Plus at the same time.
you guys are sad.
Oh, you can't?
No, we're poor. My computer.
Okay, hold on.
It just go laggy.
7 years
No,
old.
we
man.
can do Facebook. It just goes laggy. That's how we saw Shock Trooper.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
put it up. We
well,
can do
Hey,
it.
Matt, I saw your thing about Nicolas Cage pictures, and so you're
Oh
probably
yes.
sleeping. I put the link of the 4 minutes of Nicolas Cage straight losing his shit, and they've compiled every clip from like any movie he's done where he just is like fucking losing his shit, and that's pretty entertaining.
You know, actually, that was the first thing I saw when I woke up. So I was like, talk about fantasy. I was like, we're on a roll already.
just starting out like where you just walking the street. I was like, oh my god.
He freaks out in every movie.
Well, I think it's in his
Guaranteed.
contract, and in the scene you will freak out. I got that. I got that. That don't even sound like Nicolas Cage.
You're paying me to quote unquote act.
I'm
gonna
gonna
I
rage.
think
What?
like in every movie, yeah, he does. I think he actually that's what one of his fucking things he wants.
Hey, and to keep it fantasy,
Was
wasn't
that
he
freak out?
movie?
Yeah, he played a wizard in the where he trained the kid. Something about an
Yeah.
apprentice.
Like every wizard movie.
Well, yeah, I guess.
And that was a fantasy movie, Sorcerer's Apprentice.
There you go. See?
See, no, that's what I said. He played a fucking dumb magician in like some fucking stupid movie that I didn't see.
I-
All right, I just posted to Facebook speaking of fantasies, my fantasy car.
Okay,
I think
hold up.
this is possibly cooler than the Cadbury car.
Speaking of fantasies, later I'll be posting after dark fantasy pics of hot naked Elvis people. Elvis people. Let's be hot naked Elvis.
Awful.
No, I changed my
Is
Google profile picture to the Cadbury car, and I was hoping it would show up on Google Hangouts like your Hulk boots.
Well,
Oh my god, that is pretty
wow.
fair.
What was that, Brian?
Oh wow, that is awesome.
Oh, it's so cute.
Was that for an orange?
It's an orange.
That's those chocolate oranges.
Dude, you need to
I
actually
love
put that
it.
up on It's Geeky. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, now we're talking about it. We probably should put it up.
Yeah, now that everyone.
Here's
Well,
the
yeah.
fantasy car.
We can
I-
get everybody about it.
I would totally ride that car around in a Gandalf costume just to throw people off.
And a Gandalf.
Just to mess with people. They're like, okay, I get the orange car, but why is he in a Gandalf costume? Now, have you guys seen the video? I posted it a while back. I don't think I may have posted it to Geeky. I may have just posted it on my own page. But it was Gandalf stopping the train.
No, hold up. Let me go back.
What was that, Brian?
We gotta
I
watch.
have not seen that.
That
one.
Oh, now we can't watch it.
Oh, it's great because it's like somewhere in Germany, I think, and Gandalf gets on like the train tracks, and it's like kind of like their trolley, and he's sitting there, "You shall not pass," and then like the train's just sitting there ringing the bell at him, like, "Get out of the way, asshole!" And then next thing you know, all the fucking dwarves and hobbits come running out, and it's the greatest thing ever. I'm gonna post that on Geeky right now, so everyone can check that out because it's one of the greatest Gandalf kind of parodies or Lord of the Rings Hobbit parodies.
Love it.
So I tell you, you know what? The first three were good. I love the first three. I like the Hobbit one, but I watched those several years ago when my attention span was much, much longer, and I watched them in theaters. I watched Hobbit, the first one here, and I even had to pause it, stretch.
Do you remember when I got those crazy box set? It had like 8 DVDs, and we sat and watched.
Oh crap!
That was nuts.
One of them, and it was like we had to take breaks and shit.
Well,
it was long.
Well, like every time a new one would come out, by the end, fucking the theaters were doing, we're gonna show all 3 back to back,
Oh, God, 12 hours.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, I want to get a piss.
You know what,
if
though?
those seats sucked, I wouldn't want to sit
I would
there
sit
and
and
the
watch-
money for food.
I would sit and watch all 8 of the Harry Potters. All of them.
Fuck that. You know what?
I think there were like
God.
2.
No, at one point it sounded good because when Avengers came out, some of the theaters did like we're gonna show Thor, Captain America, and everything leading up, and then Doom. We're gonna show Avengers the first screening, and I was like, in theory that sounded cool, but I'm like, you know how fucking long that is? Once again, the food alone. If you got one of those big theaters and don't let you take it outside food.
I'd order a pizza and have them bring it to the door. So I could just open the door and be like, thank you.
And you know what that? I was about to say, you know what that would cost? That would cost you about motherfucking $900 at a movie theater.
They have to let you out for breaks.
Like I think Brian went one time and got chicken tenders, and I'm like, where the fuck do you get chicken tenders? And then,
No, dude, we'd have
or you got something? I'm like, and then when did they start carrying that? And then how much was that? Because I picked it like $20 per chicken tender.
I would hope they would do like an hour between movies, and then we'd like go hit up the hometown.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I don't think they do that.
Oh man, hometown! You better take some Pepto-Bismol with you.
You're right.
Hey, you know what though? I read the Yelp ads and everything every now and then. Let me tell you, a lot of people, I don't know if they think they're gonna get into a hoity-toity restaurant, but they will write some shit about Home Depot. You're like, the
Hometown?
fuck did you think? It was not Home Depot, Hometown Buffet. And I'm like, what the fuck did you think? It was Hometown motherfucking Buffet.
It costs you like $9 to get in.
God, yeah, it cost you like $9. I mean, they're like, oh, well, this steak was like not cooked to the way I want. I'm like, it's Hometown Buffet, fucker. Shit.
Well, see, Soup Plantation is where it's at.
Soup Plantation is bomb, but I think Soup Plantation, it lets me down because there's like only 13, well, once again, what am I expecting, you know, for this cheap
Only
price?
13 soups?
It's only 13.
Yeah.
How dare you in full breads? Well, I always pass with that salad bar. I'm like, get this fucking salad. I'm not going to salad fucking plantation. I'm going to Soup Plantation. It's so fucking, I'm like, yeah, let me get some clam chowder. But it's like always, like, I always expect some gnarly soups. I'm like, oh, clam chowder and potato and leek it is.
Well, let's get.
So you're listening to It's Geeky Now restaurant critique sessions.
Yeah. So I posted the Gandalf video to the Geeky page, so you guys can check that out. You shall not pass. These guys actually do a lot of funny stuff with like there's a Spider-Man where he's like dancing around, like break dancing and stuff, and he's like cops are writing him a ticket for some reason. He's just sitting there dancing, like, you know, just going at it while the cops are writing him a ticket, like, whatever.
I saw a good.
If they're already writing one, you might as well have a good time.
I saw a good one on World Star Hip Hop the other day. It's like some kid's birthday party, and they hired a fucking Spider-Man, but it was this chubby, flubby Spider-Man. And oddly, Mickey Mouse was sitting there in the background, but they didn't really question that. But he was just, all he could do to perform for the kids was he was just jamming out in his fat, flubby Spider-Man suit, just like dancing. They're like, go Spot. I'm like, oh God, dude, if I was 6-year-old and that was my Spider-Man that came to my party, I'd kill myself.
You wouldn't know any different.
No. But no, well, true, because one time my mom, she took us when we were little to Burger King because He-Man was going to be there, and we thought it was really good He-Man. We were dumb. We were kids. Kids are stupid. And we're like, fucking, yeah, we're going to go see There was also a Playco over here, and they had a Green Power Ranger, and I swore that was the one I saw on TV. I'm like, oh, the Green Power Ranger's gonna be there. Fucking A, yeah.
I'm gonna point out that my child-hating husband does not have any children. We do not have kids.
No
abuse.
No, but the kids are dumb. I thought it was He-Man. I thought this cartoon guy somehow appeared at my Burger King, and fucking, I was excited. She-Ra was there. My sister was excited, and we didn't think that these people were actors. You're just, like I said, you're a kid. You're stupid.
Well,
You're like
Disneyland with all
more
this,
into Burger King.
Well, it's like Disneyland. You see all the face models and all the princesses and shit walking around.
Yeah, but when you get older, then all you think is, man, those lips look good. Sucking my dick. Oh. Sorry.
That is so fun.
Alright, for some reason Google in the middle of the thing made me install a plugin and it rebooted me, so I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
I didn't even
You might be
get
in
on.
the car now.
Nice. So you guys were talking The Hobbit before I jumped on?
We had just
You don't
started.
even know
The Hobbit movies in general.
I heard about Hometown Buffet, then Soup Plantation. I don't know what the hell went and happened. They're talking about
Talk about the fantasy foods I want to eat right now, alright? Like, I'm stuck here, and over there is the buffet that's not open. That's my fantasy right now.
Now, this isn't fantasy, but well, you know, it could be considered some sort of deranged fantasy, but have you guys seen the previews for Tusk yet?
I
Yeah. Okay, is that a werewolf or what?
Yeah, guy kidnaps this. So the guy, I forgot his name, the skinny guy with the black hair, and Haley Joel Osment, like, do a podcast where they make fun of people that do stupid stuff. Like in the one thing with the guy with the ninja sword doing the Kill Bill thing.
Star Wars kid, yeah.
Yeah, he accidentally cuts off his leg. So they're making fun of him on the podcast, and then so the one guy with the black hair, I forget his name. He's like, all right, I'm going to Canada to interview him, basically so he can embarrass him and kind of like, you know, do a Tosh.0 with him.
Uh-huh.
And when he gets to Canada, the kid like either committed suicide or he died or something like that. So he's like, oh, I'll spend another day here, and he finds a flyer that's like basically, hey, you want to hear some interesting stories? Contact me. Goes to the old dude's house. Old dude's telling him how like a walrus saved his life, and you know, while he's telling him the story, he drugs him, cuts off his leg, and then he makes a walrus tusk out of his legs that he cuts off, and then basically over time he like starts transforming him into a walrus. Like he has this.
It's like a human centipede, only a walrus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then like his friend and his girlfriend come looking for him, and when they finally find him, like basically he was like so mentally broken down that he believes he's actually a walrus at that point. So at the end of the movie, I guess, like...
Don't give it away. I haven't seen it, but none of us have seen it.
Well, I read the whole plot on...
I was about to say, okay, it was just a synopsis, because like, usually we spoil it because we've already seen it.
Yeah. No, I read the plot on Wikipedia, and I was like, holy crap, this is weird.
No, because he obviously was promoting it at Comic-Con with something, but I was like, more Kevin Smith, fuck it, I'm going to this other day.
You know, it's his daughter's in it, and Johnny Depp's daughter's in it.
Yeah, they're the two on the commercial where I hate American boys.
Yeah, the two girls.
Is that Johnny Depp's daughter?
Yeah.
I think the black-haired girl's Johnny Depp's daughter, and the blonde is Kevin Smith's, I think.
Yeah, Harley is the one on the left.
Harley?
And then,
That's cool.
Harley Quinn Smith.
That is
and
awesome.
And then Johnny Depp's daughter is Lily Rose, and she's on the right.
Yeah, and Johnny Depp's in it too. He plays the detective that's looking for the old man because he, you know, he's a killer. So he's been trying to hunt him down for years.
Like
oh yeah,
Harley
I love me some Johnny Depp. Hopefully he's not doing Johnny Depp as detective.
No, I think he's actually going to be kind of, you know, like I like Johnny Depp for the most part. Like some of his roles, like, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff, I'm like, whatever. It's a little too over the top cheesy for me.
And the first one was awesome.
The first one was great. When he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that's when I was like, oh crap, this sucks.
No, there's a part of me that oddly liked it.
I liked it.
More faithful to the book.
It was.
But it was right. It did have the formula.
The Oompa Loompa techno song was not faithful to the book.
No, like with the squirrels.
And
how
crooked everything,
you know,
how crooked down to how crooked the home was, and it leaned.
Yep, and how much he hated children.
Oh yeah, and the fucking thing is, like, he did do that Johnny Depp thing where he showed up and made faces and
Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka.
Yeah, Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka, and then it mixed it with fucking the obvious Tim Burton music, and the
I love all things Tim Burton.
Oh,
so.
the Danny Elfman songs.
But yeah, the Danny Elfman song that he on.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. That's it. Every song.
And then, well, sometimes it's like Batman, and it's got the long, drawn-out ones, like The Simpsons was like
Brian's like, no.
dun, 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 dun. Or like the Batman where it's like dun, dun, and then draws it out. But then mostly it's also do 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 and the quick rap and fuck Danny Elfman.
No, I love Danny Elfman too.
He was
Sorry,
cool
guys.
back before he was used in every single. Dude,
I still love it.
I agree with South Park, dude. If what is it? If Tim Burton just wants to go ahead and have sex with Johnny Depp and stuff, just go ahead, just have sex. You don't have to keep making these movies. Just bang Johnny Depp and get it over with.
Who doesn't want to bang Johnny Depp?
I actually don't want to bang Johnny
That's a
Depp.
lie.
Is his daughter
That's a
18?
I do
That
she's
aging
not-
like that matters to you. Is his daughter 18? Just for legal purposes while we're being recorded.
Yeah.
You're like, speaking of
This is in
fantasy,
France.
is Johnny Depp's
Oh, they do
daughter-
live in France.
This is a
Okay.
fantasy episode, man.
Well, if she was 18, she'd be my fantasy, but she's not, so that makes it that.
Yeah.
I can tie anything back to
So
fantasy.
anyway, shall we move on to some more? What other fantasy-related base that we can think of? I don't
It
know.
don't even have to be new, dude. Talk about the old fantasies were awesome. I know you mentioned Conan, but you know what?
Oh yeah, Conan. Conan's
Well, no.
awesome.
No, yeah, dude. They've been re-showing Conan the Destroyer and Conan the Barbarian on, I think it's Bravo or AMC. They're playing
God,
the
one of
shit out
them.
of it for a while. They were playing it like every
Days.
other day, dude. Like in the weekend, it was like twice a day. And you know what? I tried to watch them, and I forgot how long
Yeah.
drawn out those movies are. It was like, here's a Conan fuck scene. I'm like, oh, I forgot about the Conan fuck scene. I don't care about the Conan fuck scene. Kill something.
I prefer the Jason Momoa.
no,
Conan.
yeah, that
He's
was
just in there,
sick.
he's fucking, he's killing, and it's done.
There's titties in the
That's it.
background. Dude, in the beginning, as a kid, he lopped off the 5 heads of those things.
In the beginning, he's born on the battlefield.
Oh,
dude.
no, that's
Remember
right.
that?
No, but I mean, oh,
Cover
yeah.
open
No,
and
he
shit.
was, okay, he was born in the battlefield, but when they took the bull, or no, when they went to go carry the eggs, and he took the race, and then, like, those things attacked, he just fucked them up, took their heads, and then dropped them at the feet of his dad, like, what? With the egg in mouth. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a badass
Yeah.
Conan as a kid.
You can't go wrong with James Earl Jones as a cult leader either.
No.
about
It
him.
had that manly Grace Jones, I think, in the segment, or was that Red Sonja?
No, Grace Jones.
Okay, but my thing is just like, dude, I don't know. Just going back and watching them now, I was just like, dude, I could watch the Hour 45 Jason Momoa one, in which there was way more
Now
action.
remember the cartoon, the Conan cartoon where he had the phoenix, that ate like the pomegranates?
Yes.
Vaguely.
Conan
Just
the
think about
Adventure.
that.
Yeah, we used to I used to get home from school and I'd be like, I gotta watch Conan.
No, it was more like what was it? The Thundar the Destroyer, Thundar the Barbarian,
I
with
did-
Gleep and Glip or whatever.
The original Power Rangers was my after-school program because I'm a little younger than you guys, so I had different cartoons and stuff. But yeah, Power Rangers original.
Yeah, well, we watched the Power Rangers. I remember I watched up until the Green Ranger was being introduced, I believe.
How about say Tommy?
Swoon, love him.
He's a MMA fighter now, and he
He's so
reprises his role as
badass.
a White Ranger, whatever.
His ponytail is so sexy.
He is totally. But you know
'Cause he was like the badass, I don't follow your rules, Power Ranger.
And no,
Yeah.
I did see a cool picture where this guy was taking a selfie with him in the background, and he noticed he was taking a selfie. So he put up his little fucking Power Ranger stance for the selfie. I'm like, that was pretty cool,
He's
dude.
super cool to his family.
Yeah, he is. He is. And he's still super buff. Dude.
And he
Like,
still
looks-
plays
looks
the White
amazing.
Ranger and the Green Ranger and stuff for movies.
Yeah, because like I said, what else is he doing besides his MMA?
Kicking ass.
Now,
No,
I
like-
did have a crush on the Pink Ranger, and I think there was like a, nude photos of the Pink Power Ranger came out, and I was like, yeah, buddy.
Wait, nude photos?
Whoa.
Yeah, the Pink Power Ranger.
Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh, no.
Johnson? Nice.
I believe.
What?
You guys are cutting out.
Let's
I
see.
think we're losing Matt. But again, there's nude photos of Amy Jo Johnson out there?
I believe there was. I could be wrong.
Either way, there already is in my
I'm like,
head.
that's the beginnings of the internet, so I don't... Do they have...
Yeah, it
those
it was pretty early on. I think it was. I don't want to say it was a Playboy spread, but
No, maybe was it the second one? Because there was another Pink Ranger that I didn't even follow.
There's
the
one that came from Mar Vista. Yeah, she was a
Was she a
blonde
yellow one?
No, she was a pink one.
Okay, I couldn't remember the other
No,
one.
because Power Rangers was racist, so the yellow was Asian and the black was black.
No, that was the original, but then they changed it. They changed it around.
The Black Ranger became Johnny Young Bosch, again, swoon-worthy, but he became the Black Ranger.
No,
Adam.
You know what's great?
Adam?
Key and Peele, Power Falcons,
Oh.
where he was in the green
Oh, yeah.
the Black Falcon. I'm the Green Falcon, motherfucker. Hey, Black Falcon, don't get
all Black Falcon about it.
Don't get all black. Yeah, they're just like, we're not trying to get up in your grill or anything.
Like Black Falcon out. I mean, Green Falcon. I like that Red Falcon was Indian. He's like, hey.
Yeah.
He's like, what if I called you Yellow Falcon? That's racist.
That's Key and Peele, all the way. Every
Oh, dude, their season
awesome.
needs to hurry up and come back. They really do.
Now, I can't tell, with the internet being what it is, if the Amy Jo Johnson photos are actually her nude or if they're photoshopped. I think the black and white ones are her actually nude.
Oh.
And they're just boobs, basically just boobs and a little bit of bush.
Mm.
That might have worked back in the old days, but now when you can see squid fisting, jelly bashing, anal butt plugging prolapses, I mean, we need more. We need like
when you were a kid, you were like, yeah, pink power. It was like when Tasha Yar finally, she was in a Playboy spread, and it was like, ooh, I get to see Star Trek girls naked.
You know what? That would be cool, but Tasha Yar was the youngest, but the butchy haircut that just never.
Is that the blonde engineer?
Yeah, dude, and she had that little butch cut that just never did it for me, dude. Sadly,
that was the range, though,
the more milfalicious Beverly Crusher, I was just like, she's older. All right.
What?
Troy always fucked me up because I'm like, she could read my mind.
Yeah,
she knew what
no
I was saying. No.
But not your mind. She read your emotions.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well.
Still, not a good character.
You definitely know your emotions. I'm horny.
That's pretty much about it, really.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Look at my boobs.
Horny and hungry, yeah, that's pretty close.
Gassy. Does that count?
Gross. No, gross.
To me, that's an emotion. I feel it all the time.
I hope this reaches as many people as possible so they can see the trouble I go through every day of my life.
The trouble I have every day is the same one I'm having now. I don't have a sandwich in my hand.
Oh, I'm gonna kick you in the face.
Okay, anyway, that's a
Kick you in the
fantasy.
face. Yeah, yes, it is.
Kicking me in the face.
Your fantasy is me having to make you a sandwich. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. That's not so much a fantasy as a reality. No, I told Asian about a possible job prospect, which was, I told him when I'm going home, I always saw this old Mexican lady on the bus every morning that would sell homemade tamales on the bus. And I was like, he needs to take his homemade soup and then go sell it at the trolley station every morning.
You'll like get a lawsuit from the first time the bus like fucking freaks out and the hot boiling for the first ride.
No, you put it in your yogurt cups.
What?
Reuse the yogurt cups.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yogurt cups. Wow.
I will not crush this, Ganon. Fuck you. I will put soup in there.
Oh, the Yoplait? No, that was
Yoplait.
Fuck Yoplait. Yoplait was all trying to tell me to crush my cup before I throw it away. I'm like, Yoplait, get the fuck out of my face. I bought you, and after that, that's all we need.
I kind of imagine a little hermit crab making its new shell out of a Yoplait
Well,
container.
okay, now if it's like one of those like 6-pack rings, I can see things getting caught in that and choking.
Oh, I always.
But I mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna get their beak stuck in a Yoplait cup? Get your beak out of there.
Well, I put those in the recycling because, they all just go to the recycling place, so.
It's my fantasy that Yoplait will keep its shit out of my fucking shit after I buy its product. That's my fantasy.
Have your email, your phone, fucking address.
Oh, yeah.
So gay fish is on South Park. Earlier, Asian had posted about gay fish.
Well, you know what? Also, on It's Geeky, right as I was leaving, sadly for the barbecue, I was sad because it was like 13-hour South Park marathon. I'm like, oh, and I have to go, so I got on It's Geeky real quick. And I'm like, hey, anyone? Comedy Central, 13 hours of South Park. Whee!
They're trying to do the Simpsons style marathon.
Well,
the new season starts next week.
Well, yeah, the new season starts
Wednesday.
Dude. Fucking, we got at least the Inception episode and the fucking Taming the Strange.
That sounds so good.
Come on, Kyle, kick the fucking baby. I'm here, bro. Kick the fucking baby.
Brian
What
looks
the
like he's holding a microphone, but it's a beer bottle.
If you can see me, I'm doing the same as a bong.
So, how you not a hobbit again, bitch?
I'm not a hobbit again.
Are you not a hobbit? What?
But you have the pipe and the soaking the pipe down by the fire. How you not a hobbit again, bitch?
I love when he's reading the story to fucking Wendy, dude. And he's like, fucking, what was it? She's like, well, no, the Beyonce part, she's like, even though she couldn't sing like Beyonce, it couldn't dance like Beyonce, it couldn't act like Beyonce, it wasn't even a human, decent being like Beyonce. Like, and then she went to God. You know what God said? He said, "I'll go talk to the." And suddenly he was God, and you're just like, dude, you know, that's a different rat. That's not even geeky. But motherfucker came out and said, motherfucking Tupac was a fucking overrated rapper. I'm like, oh, are you talking about? And they said, well, what do you think is good? He's like, go check any one of my albums, my art. And I'm like,
well, you know, you are talking about fantasy there. His
that's Gayfish's fantasy.
It's my fantasy that he'll just disappear. Poof. Life just gone. Down.
No, you know what?
Take the whole clan with you.
You know what's good is on American Dad, they posted that Kim Kardashian was voicing something for this new episode, and the comment thread was like, Insta internet venom. They're like, fuck it, I'm not watching your show anymore. You've crushed my life, American Dad. I'm like,
yeah, Brian, we're not hearing you at all, darling. You're just popping up randomly.
I was like, you're listening to. I'm like, I'm confused. I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm like, you guys keep talking about other shit. I'm like, what are we talking about?
the fantasy of Kim
is going
Kardashian
on?
going away.
Oh, if only.
I'm like, I'm confused. Wow.
We have so many fantasies, Brian. So many fantasies.
So for some reason, there's a new Lord of the Rings video game coming out. I've been seeing commercials for. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
No.
I saw that it was coming out. It's like what, some like Shadows of Mordor. I forget. I see it
Yeah,
on
the Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't. I know they released video, and I was gonna post it, but then, man, I haven't checked it out. I like the old ones they had for the PlayStation 2 or whatever, the hack and
Those are
slash.
crazy.
But then they started going into MMO or whatever, and where you play with other people, and you know I hate that shit. You know I hate that shit.
Well, this kind of looks like a ripoff of Assassin's Creed style, like hack and slash and Assassin's Creed, because they show him like jumping off buildings and doing the Assassin's Creed style dive.
Huh.
That might be good.
Well, the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King that was actually licensed for PlayStation 2. Run around and hack and slash, but it was so much fun, dude. I went around cutting the shit out of everybody. What?
Yeah, I was being presented. I'm not a piece of meat, Brian.
I'm having fun. Leave me alone.
So we're not doing a Q&A today, are we? I don't
No.
No,
see-
he forgot to set it up. We found out. Is anyone monitoring? Oh, because see, that's why I said you need to be here. Because
Who's on Facebook monitoring comments?
I'm
Yeah,
on Facebook, but
okay,
I'm monitoring Facebook. No, nobody's posted anything on Facebook.
not since
All
my "You shall not pass." My Gandalf stops the train.
Yeah, I'm like,
Exactly.
nobody's posted anything.
they've all ventured forth to watch other videos that we've mentioned here.
You shall not pass. No, I'm
I feel like-
kind of excited about the third Hobbit coming out because, like I said,
Battle of Five Armies.
Finished. That's what.
yeah, it'll be finally over. The Lord of the Rings, I really just didn't get into it. The first one was just, you know, Frodo trying to give the ring away to everybody and cop out. I was like, I don't want to do this. Just take the ring. No, you could take the ring. Oh, here, take the ring. Someone take the ring. And it's like a whole, you know, 2.5 hours of let's run and take the ring. And, you know, of course, the same old argument is, why didn't you just fly the fucking eagles to Mordor to begin with?
Well, that's a question that'll forever be fucking asked through the end of
I read
time.
something where somebody did some sin-offs and shit. About that. Like, technically, with Gandalf actually talked to the eagles, but he never told anybody. I don't know. I'll have to find it and post it on our page.
Well, you know what I'm worried about? There's a motherfucking... Actually, they wanted to do the other stories that Tolkien wrote after this.
Oh,
But-
yeah, I forgot what story that was.
Silmarillion?
But I read somewhere that the estate said after this one, since they're already contractually obliged, cool, but they're like, they're tired of, like, they said they really don't think now. Anyway, everyone's just gonna go see the movie. No one's reading The Hobbit anymore. No one's reading the books. Da 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 da.
Well, and you have a whole
so-
generation that's like, yeah, Legolas saves the day, and it's like that's not what happened.
Like Legolas is not
dude,
even
I
in the
know.
Hobbit.
I read those
You
books a
know,
long time ago, and I skipped a bunch.
There were sites where they argued that, and they're saying basically it makes sense that Legolas was there because, you know, they went through his realm basically, and so why wouldn't he be there?
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense, but it's like, you know, a cameo is fine, but you know, a whole journey with Legolas kind of joining, it's like, eh. But you know, I do like Orlando Bloom as Legolas, or Legos, as I call him.
Legos. It's live with it. I'm like, dude, it's because Orlando. He begged to be in the movie and shit. Because what's Orlando Bloom doing now? Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What else is he doing besides, you know, he did the Lord of the Rings?
And just saved up his money. He's like, fuck it, between pirates and this, I don't need to do shit no more.
Well, he's divorcing his boyfriend.
Well, he's also in ain't he in these movies, these other ones?
Did you say divorcing his boyfriend?
His wife, they're getting divorced.
Oh,
Wait, didn't he punch?
I was gonna say I didn't know he was gay.
I must say he punched Justin Bieber, and that was pretty cool.
Oh, did he? Oh, I have much more respect for him then.
Well, you know what is even cooler? I guess in the Hollywood circle, blah, 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 you know, Hollywood people, they live their own fucking ritzy lives. I guess Leo DiCaprio just happened to be there and was just like, yeah, buddy!
Yeah.
I was like, Orlando just became cooler than any movie I've seen him in. I was like, dude.
No, Orlando Bloom's a good actor. I like when he's in kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, he's in The Lord of the Rings, he's in The Hobbit. He does a good job. And he's eye candy for girls, of course.
He was in Ricky Gervais' show Extras. Have you guys seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
There's an episode with him, and there's also an episode with Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter, which is really good.
Daniel
too.
Radcliffe, that's where he put the condom.
Yes, the condom flings onto Dame Diana Rigg. But no, the Orlando Bloom one is just he's offended the whole time because she does not find him attractive.
That was so random.
But yeah, it's just Orlando Bloom being constantly offended because she does not find him attractive at all.
Now, outside of Pirates of the Caribbean and Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, I can't really think of anything that Orlando Bloom's been in off the top of my head.
But he has a movie where he was on an island of clones. I want to say he was in. No.
I think that was Ewan McGregor.
Oh, okay. I was like, there was an island of clone movie that the pretty boys were in.
Like the Island of the Clone Wars?
No!
Oh, The Island, and I think it was Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, that was the island.
Okay, yeah, that was, yeah. No, but really,
But Orlando Bloom's been in Elizabethtown. It's a stupid romantic comedy movie.
Let's say rom-com.
He was in
Rom-com.
is that the Kristen
He was in
Dunst
Kingdom of
one?
Heaven.
Is rom-com a Romulan convention?
I wish.
Yes, Nico, that's correct.
I would actually go see more of them if there was actually a Romulan convention.
I'm going to rom-com. Oh, you like romantic comedies? No, I'm going to a Romulan convention.
Actually, I would be more insulted that someone would think I would go to do this, like the fucking romantic. Oh, you going to a romantic comedy? Fuck you! I'll stab your face.
Kingdom of Heaven. What else did he listen to?
That sounds like a fantasy.
It was more closer to Kingdom of Kingdom. That was some fucking crusade shit.
That was a badass fantasy. Well, the BBC special did. I didn't like the movie. I didn't like all the movie or whatever, the PBS movie with the little Brit kids. That was actually cool. The movie when they
I like the movie.
I like the books, but when they transferred it to the movie, I was just like.
Which one?
I mean, obviously, all CGI
James
everywhere.
McAvoy as the goat.
Ain't that Professor X? New
Yep.
Professor X?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
wow.
are you talking about?
Chronicles of Narnia, that's fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like trying to find what I missed what you said. I'm like,
No,
what
Chronicles
show?
of Narnia, because there was that PBS or BBC or whatever miniseries that was pretty cool, and then there was a movie that sucked.
I didn't like the movie.
Like I said, it was just so CGI.
I like the movies as a kid, the original kind of live-action ones they had.
Oh, yeah, no,
I think it
exactly.
was like BBC or something like that did them.
Or PBS, yeah, one of those. PBC, PBS.
PMS.
It's kind of like that motherfucking Alice in Wonderland fucking movie that had all the stars, like Pat Morita was the unicorn, and like Paul McCartney or Ringo Starr was a sad turtle, and it was like really cool, and you like cannot find it anywhere.
That was another movie that Tim Burton messed up, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't like that one at all. I didn't like the whole fucking Mad Hatter William Wallace crossover, split personality, fucking. Once again, Johnny Depp showed up, did his Johnny Depp thing, looked all weird.
Johnny Depp. You know, the one movie I really liked Johnny Depp in was Rango.
He was good in Rango.
It's mostly because it was CGI and he couldn't do his normal Johnny Depp thing.
But they did have him dress up like Hunter Thompson at one point, didn't they?
Yeah, well, he started off dressed up kind of like Hunter S. Thompson, but then when he fell off the back of the car and he was like getting like run over by all the cars on the freeway, he actually landed on the windshield of the Fear and Loathing, like when they were going to Vegas. And then Johnny Depp was he did the Hunter S. Thompson voice, and he was like, and he like turn on the windshield wipers real quick. But you know, if you're a kid, they're not going to get that reference. But you know, if you're like me, you're like, holy shit, they just had a Fear and Loathing reference.
Yeah, see, that movie oddly is a weird contention for me and the wifey here, because I don't usually do the CGI animated movies, and I actually wanted to see that. And this hooker here went and saw Without Me, and then I was like, they'll forever be known. Like whenever I see a movie without him, like I straight Rango'd you.
I Rango'd you.
I saw it with children as it should be.
I was pissed. I was like, I wanted to see that actually.
That's one of those movies where, like, you know, me or Asian would go really super high and just be like, yeah, this movie's so good, dude.
Yes.
You see those 3D effects? I haven't seen 3D effects like that since Hulk Boob.
You know what? I gotta say though, for Alice in Wonderland, I did like Alan Rickman as a caterpillar. There's just something about that.
Alan Rickman is perfect in every movie that he does.
And you know what? Some of the graphics in the background was cool and trippy and
yes. As Severus Snape.
I was about to say, let's not forget.
Awesomest Harry Potter character ever.
Let's not forget.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
I just found the full-size picture of Hulk boobs here.
Hey Matt, speaking of fantasy, did you ever watch Flash Gordon that you downloaded?
Yes, I did.
Did you love it?
Flash. Flash.
What an awesome achievement. Savior of the universe.
No, I was excited when I was like, "Oh, Queen's doing the soundtrack," and then it was just kind of like your typical '70s, early '80s sci-fi sound. It's all. You're like, what's going on with this music here?
Then the fact that he beats up people with football moves.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was very cheesy. I liked it. I wish.
Now you can understand because have you ever seen Ted, the Seth MacFarlane movie?
Yes.
Well, see, now you can totally understand the fucker where they meet that guy and he starts wrecking up the party. He's like, "Death to Ming."
I don't remember. I'd have to watch that again.
Oh, dude, they go to a party and he starts doing coke and drinking and everything, and this Chinese guy comes over. He starts seeing Ming the Merciless, and he starts attacking. He's like, "Death to Ming."
There's a chicken involved.
No, duck. He's cooking duck.
Oh, that's right.
He was so stereotypically Asian. He's like, "I just over here trying to cook duck."
Yeah, see, I don't remember much of what happened in Ted, mostly because I was really high when I watched it.
Oh no, I fully give it to you, dude. It was a good movie until they started getting creepy at the end with Giovanni Ribisi.
He's creepy.
He was really creepy. I was like, this took a turn for the dark.
Yeah. Then it got romantic and weird.
No, you know what was stupid and romantic with that stupid new one, dude? The Million Fucking Ways to Die. Matt, don't ever see that movie, dude. Don't ever see that movie.
A Million Ways to Die in the West?
That movie. I was trying to watch it.
What did I tell you?
What?
I was like, do not watch that. I told you don't watch that shit.
Well, I'll probably watch it when it comes on like HBO or whatever.
I like dumb movies, but you know what? This was weird, dude.
It was a legit like waste of time.
Yeah, like I tried twice. The first time 15 minutes and I turned it off. The second time it was about 30 minutes and I turned it off.
We even got to Liam.
What I told you it sucks. It blew balls.
Well, see, yeah, I didn't even have the Liam Neeson's like Nikachu said. I'm like, ooh, Liam Neeson's. And I couldn't even stick around for him. I'm like, oh, dude, the rest of the movie just sucks so hard.
I'll just get really high when I watch it.
It doesn't help.
You know what? So
No.
Robbie said that. No, he was like, you just weren't high. I think Matt said that. He's like, you weren't high enough. I'm like, no, I don't even think it was that, dude. I don't think that could even save it. I mean, terrible.
So, Matt, just to let you know, your profile pic for fucking the show is now the Cadbury egg.
Yes.
Yes. Because it's still showing the robots on my end,
Cadbury
but
egg.
nice.
Yeah, no, it's still,
It's
well, that's what happened with the last.
It's probably because you already started.
Oh,
with
Matt, somewhere out there, the South Park podcast exists because fucking when we were waiting for Brian, like it fucking came up in our Google Plus feed, and I was like, oh shit! So we started watching part of it.
Maybe I did it on the wrong channel then. Maybe I did it because I have like 3 Gmails, so maybe it was on the other one.
Okay, because when I loaded this up, it's like you and Matt, and I was like, oh, there's our video, and I started watching it. That was a good run.
Well, maybe that's why. Because let me see if I still have the video, because I think I deleted the video now.
Oh,
because I was like,
was it Game Gas?
no, I have the South Park video. So
yeah, it was Game Gas. Are you seeing it, Brian? It recommended it.
I have to.
yeah, because I may have
Like I said, we
logged
were
in under
watching
my
it.
other.
Like, yeah.
Good, because I may have logged in under my other email.
No, you were under. It's under Matt Webb. It's your.
Huh.
It's this one right here.
Huh? Because it doesn't show in my my Google. Or my well, let me look in Google because it doesn't show up in YouTube.
Yeah, mine was G+.
So maybe it's on Google Plus, but not on YouTube for some reason.
Let me see. It's
Mine-
an hour and 47 minutes.
For every read.
Yeah, that sounds
Oh yeah,
about
no, we
right.
played a long time. Well, he played.
Yeah, here, it is here. Yeah, it just says stuff. Game Gas. I don't. Huh.
Yeah.
That was actually a good run. That was a really
Well,
good
good
run.
because I need the audio from that to sync it up with the video I recorded. So cool.
Destiny
so,
ones were really good, and it actually made me want to play Destiny a little bit. Not a lot
would
of
you
it.
like my
a little
my
bit.
melee master just walking around slashing everyone with my knife?
Dude, no, what was I watching? Was that the newer one? I watched the newer one. I didn't watch all of them. I watched the newer one you put up. And
Yeah, that was the challenge one I made. So I was just like running around like hacking people with my knife.
well, I've been reading things.
Brian's like, I don't know, it's a game.
Well, I've been reading things.
Hey guys, just
Okay,
let
back
you
to
know,
fantasy.
we're talking about one of the shows that Pig and Holt did the other night. About I guess they talked about Game of the Stick of Truth or some shit for.
Yeah, we did South Park Stick of Truth. We did like a kind of like the first like hour or so of gameplay of it, and we were talking while we were playing it. So that'll be out now that I found the audio for it, because it wasn't up on my YouTube channel for some reason. It's up on Google Plus, I see.
That didn't go
We'll have that up in the next couple of days then. Me and Asian doing Stick of Truth.
But okay, let's get back to fantasy. That way.
I don't know when.
What's that, Brian?
I'm telling them to stay tuned for their next show.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? No, that game is actually a fantasy RPG game. So yeah, I mean that's quite.
Yeah, actually, it is.
Game of Thrones or some shit. I don't know.
Oh,
It's fantasy. It's a generic fantasy style, but there was a 3-part episode, the Black Friday Bundle, which was Game of Thrones theme.
And then they do play the instead of the red wedding, they have Red Robin wedding where they're all at Red Robin.
And then Bill Gates gets his ass, or Bill Gates beats the shit out of the Japanese guy.
Oh, dude, he fucked him up.
Princess Kenny is the best.
Princess Kenny.
Princess Canary. Now,
No, I like when you get the wedding invite and it cuts to the anime fucking Cartman as a wizard and he's all like looking stout with a beard. Dear Princess Kenny, we wish you to come back to the kingdom.
now I've watched a couple of Games of Thrones episodes, and I just never got into it.
First season, I loved. But then by the second season, it was too... Once I start reflecting on it, it was too... The books, I love. I
So
needed
much
to start-
like blah blah blah. I was like Walking Dead. It was just like, can you stop talking and get to some dragons already?
No,
They're
but
still
no,
not there,
They're still not.
apparently.
Well, they're there in the books at least. They're there in a big. Because I stopped watching, but I read the books, and the books they're there. I mean, it takes a long time to get there, and when they finally get there, right now they're just one's flying around and 2 are like chained up, and I'm like,
You know
dude.
what kind of bothered me was like a couple of those books are like 10 years old. They're a little older than 10 years old, and people, like when the show came out, they're like, I don't want to hear spoilers. You're spoiling the show, and it's like you do realize these books are like 10 fucking years old. You know,
Well, I will.
It's been around. It's too long to claim. Oh, spoiler alert.
The book is good. I highly recommend readers pick up the book, but I will give out the warning. There's eventually characters you just don't care about, and since luckily he names the chapters by characters, you're like, oh, that bitch, I don't care, and you can skip the whole chapter. Or you're like, oh, that dude, don't care, and you can skip the whole chapter, and it doesn't fuck up the reading experience at all. That way you only get the stories of the people you care about, and then once again, as anyone knows from that, you just don't end up liking any character because they will get their ass killed.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is one of those, like, it's really popular. People that love it, they, like, you know, love the shit out of it. But for me, I watched it, and I was just like, God, this is so boring. This is more boring than the books to me.
Well, I was trying to give it time. And there was titties. I was like, all right, titties. But fucking, and there was blood. I'm like, okay, it's kind of violent.
Great.
The cast was great, but then it's like he said, dude, it's like it just takes so long. The titties got me there, but then with every
Wiener.
well, but anytime I liked the character, you just didn't like the whole first season. I was like, oh, dude, that guy's cool. Dead. Oh, that guy's dead. Oh, but what about dead? I'm like, okay, so you just can't like anybody. You can't feel for the characters because they will die.
And then little shitbags like Joffrey live fucking forever until eventually they're killed. But
yeah, well, see, stuff like that.
Dude.
Well, and it's kind of rapey. The books, I ain't gonna lie, they're kind of rapey. They'll be like, oh, they ransacked the village, and I'm sure it happened, but they're like, and as they rape the women, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. Okay, skip these 5 pages of raping, pillage. The pillaging ain't so bad, but then when they just raping and they're like, oh, they stabbed the children through the necks. I'm like, you know, I'm not a moral guy, but I'm just like, I don't want to read about that next.
Yeah, but you know, look at George R.R. Martin. It kind of makes sense that he'd write about rape.
No, I don't. I mean, he dude, saw the guy at Comic-Con. He literally just saw him. Like our friend Lila talked to him, but we literally just saw him. He looks like a good guy. He's got a striking beard. I'm like, all right, cool, you know. So I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to put anything bad out there like George R.R. No, I'm just joking, but it really seems he likes dick and rape. Lots of rapey stuff.
It is, you know, sadly, partially pretty historical, probably.
I'm sure, but God, like I said, I don't want to read about that. I definitely just skip. Like I said, it's a great series to just skip to the good parts. It needs that Princess Bride treatment, a good parts version.
Yeah.
I'm like going, I enjoyed the books. I enjoyed the show. See, I was one of the lucky ones. I'm a turned hipster right now. I read the books a long ass time ago.
Dickhead.
I mean, I read the books when they came out. Huh? I will turn. I read them like, and then everybody's like, I gotta read the books. Dude, I read those a long ass time ago.
What? You know what? No, because like book 4, I guess I didn't even read it because everyone warned me. They're like, you know what? You don't need to read book 4. It runs concurrently to book 3, and it's kind of confusing. I'm like, fuck that. Huck the whole book out. So I went from 3 to 5.
But there's a lot of important things that happen in 4.
Well, there was there's like I know that's by the second or no by the third or fifth book.
Only parts of the thing. See, only parts of the book runs concurrent to book 3.
You know what though? I picked up on the 5th and it didn't even faze me. That's the thing. I still knew what was going on. Figured, and then it kind of just retells you what you already knew. And I mean, if you're a smart person reading these big books, you can kind of put the pieces together as they let you know. But my fucking thing is like. There's like for the last 2 books there's like Davos or whatever. Couldn't tell you the
Davos from Doctor Who.
I was like, I couldn't tell the damnedest thing about him. Well, you know why? Because it was so boring in his first chapter. Every time I saw his name, skip.
Oh.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into Game of Thrones myself. I was excited. You know, like a fantasy setting, dragons, and you know everyone that wouldn't normally like that kind of stuff is all over it. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is boring. It's kind of made for public consumption, not for actual like people that are into fantasy.
But don't forget, Matt. Not only are the dragons not there, but there's frosty, cold, ice giant zombies that show up once and then they never come back to my knowledge yet. I mean, you hear stories about them.
Winter's coming.
The ice zombies. I'm like, so once again, you're not getting the ice zombies and you're not getting the dragons.
Basically, you're getting like a really long, drawn out like drama. Just
Well, he
a
hasn't
lot
even
of talking.
written the other books yet. Although, you know what? On a cool thing for charity, he auctioned off the right for like 12 people that the highest bidders to his charity. He will kill you in the next book. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Because that's what he does. He kills your favorite
12?
characters. 12 people will be killed. Well,
In
dude,
one book?
in one chapter with that bitch, with George R. Martin, he will kill 12 people in a chapter like it's nothing. And you're like, well, once again, didn't like me to like them.
He kills main characters, not just anybody. He kills main characters. So
And let's face it, the real only good thing about that is you like to point fingers at the incest that goes on and the midget.
Half-flaccid
Tyrion Lannister and his midgetness is like about the best thing in the book.
Oh, what's that guy's name? Something Dinkle or something like that?
Peter
Dinkleheimer?
Dinklage. He's
Yeah,
awesome
Peter
as an
Dinklage.
actor.
I mean, that's a perfect midget name right there, Dinklage.
Dude.
he's an awesome ass actor.
Many of them people have nice boobs. I will give him that. They're perky little boobs.
The midget?
But then it shows then it'll show two guys, and I mean I'm not against gays, but I don't want to see some guy talking about he's like, I want to shave you down there, and he's like, what, so I'd be like a boy? And he's like, no, da-da-da. I'm like, dude, we're really sitting through this conversation about how you want to shave his junk?
But
Yeah,
if it was
because
a
it's
girl,
for the women.
I wouldn't want to see that either.
all right, fair enough.
I don't want to hear anybody have medieval conversations about, should we take a straight razor to thy pubes, my lord?
Oh, you nicked me, and now I'm going to die of an infection.
Probably. I wouldn't put it past George R. Martin's thought.
I've lost my vagina from infection.
And as she lost her vagina, many dicks waved in his face and wieners everywhere. But the dragons are coming. But the dragons are coming.
Moaning for her vagina.
Now, since we're on the subject of fantasy, I don't know. I think Asian watches at midnight. I don't think you do, Brian.
I've seen it once or twice. It's alright, depending on who the guests are.
Chris Hardwick, really, I like Chris Hardwick. He's funny.
I saw him out at Comic Con, and he had the whole once everyone was realizing, he was just slapping high fives everywhere, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Chris Hardwick," and then he started getting this little mass around him, and he's just like, "All right, it's Comic Con, let's bounce," and everyone's just bouncing outside. He's like, "All right, I gotta go." Just
well, the other day on At Midnight when he was doing the show, he had Kevin Smith on, and you know how they do basically they pull things off the internet and joke about them and kind of make a game show out of it. He describes it as Jeopardy with dick jokes, which was awesome when he got nominated for an Emmy. And he's like, I can't believe we got nominated for an Emmy because we describe our show as Jeopardy with dick jokes.
It's pretty good, yeah.
So they had one section where they were pulling text off of people's phones, from the text conversations. And he's like, this actually happened to me the other day. He's like, I'm single, everybody, and my friend tried to hook me up with a friend of his. So he put us both in the same chat on our phones and kind of let us have a conversation. And he was talking to the girl, and she's like, oh, I'm at the ESPN Sports Zone. What are you up to? And he's like, I'm playing Dungeons & Dragons. And he takes a picture of his, a handful of die, and he sends it to her. And she's like, oh, are you winning? And then he responded with, I just destroyed a blue crystal skeleton with a lightning spell. Of course I'm winning. And he's like, and I never heard back from her. I was like, that's the greatest. I want to put that up. I have it on my DVR. I'm going to put that part up on the Geeky page because it was just so fucking awesome. I was like, oh my God, I have so much respect for him now.
No, Brian and Matt, if you want to see a good one, see Pete Holmes' first experience in Dungeons & Dragons. That one is good because it kind of reminds me of the games where, the wacky games would have where, somebody would just throw off the whole game by doing something stupid because he's like, you go into this fucking tavern and you see a wizard and he's spinning crystal balls and he's like, for no reason, he's like, okay, so I want to sit as far away from that guy as possible, and is there a barkeep? And he's like, yeah, and he describes a trusty wench, and he's like, okay, so what are your specials today? And he's like, are you sure you don't want to talk to the wizard that's making the motion? He's like, no. She's like, well, okay. He says, we have mutton on sale, me lord. And he's like, Well, then bring me the mutton. I think I will have that. Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. It was so awesome, though. It was.
We're crying, dying, dude.
He's like, and he starts describing it, and the guy thinks he's actually getting it. He's like, okay, so I pull out my +2 blade of cutting. He's like, yes, everyone watches you and see what you do. I slice my mutton and put a little piece in my mouth. I was like, dude.
Oh, I just got my head in the
Oh, that was good. That was good, man. Just Pete Holmes plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and then Matt's talking about that next. It did put a cool, just give me a good old memory of my dad. Because I'm like, hey, you remember when we always played Dungeons and Dragons over at my house?
Yep.
My dad would just come and open the door. Are you guys winning? My dad would ask if we're winning. I'm sorry.
No,
my dad. I don't know if you guys don't know. I think Asian you do. But my dad's passed, and so it did put a good memory. It just made me think about.
No, that was cool, dude. Because he was always cool with us, and your mom would always come over for fucking. I mean, they were always cool as shit. I mean, your parents, Gary's parents. I mean, they're like, hey, can we have
Gary with his pig
all night, and just eat sugary snacks and take energy pills.
I remember Brian's mom just rolling up with lumpia. You remember that? We were packing.
Oh, dude.
She's like, here's like a huge thing of lumpia for you guys.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like his lumpia was like, shit, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I remember, I don't know if Brian was in on this game. I know Clarence was there, but you remember Arjan and Ojan?
I remember.
Like his mom was like the manager of the apartment complex there, and one night, like after some people moved out, there was an apartment that was empty, so she let us go and play Dungeons and Dragons in there for like a night or two straight, and we all like hit up 7-Eleven every hour or so to get our Jolt Cola, and I remember Josh. It was me, Josh. I remember Clarence was there, and then of course Ojan and Arjan were there, and. You were there too, I think, Asian. I'm pretty sure you were. And then Gary was there. Gary with the pig was there.
Late night making fucking prank phone calls with Matt and Josh. We call him Butterman.
Oh God, I remember that one.
Fucking Butterman fucking hated it, dude. Like fucking, we'd all call him Butterman.
Butterman.
Butterman, right? And we're like, fucking, we crank call this dude, and just for no reason that his name was Butterman. We're like, Butterman? How are you doing, Butterman? I fucking. This was before This was pre-caller ID, pre-cell phone, pre-Star 69.
And that's pre-South Park and pre-Butters.
There was Star 69, but people had caller ID, but you could put like Star 67. So
yeah.
Call.
Yeah. You'd be like, Butterman? Stop calling me.
Oh, dude.
It's like, but your name is Butterman. I can't stop.
Oh, dude, we would just do the dumbest shit, and then with like the late night calls to the radio stations, and we just play them random songs we wrote drunkenly. That was just awesome, dude. And then actually put us on the air. They would.
Well, that was before you had the internet to.
By drunk callers.
that was trolling before the internet.
Just having fun with us, though, man. I'm like, we made that
history, but we were trolling before it became popular. We just did on
we were trolling.
We were trolling before trolling was a thing.
Yes, we were.
We just did it on the phone. It was called. We did it back when it was called just harassment.
You guys are so old.
They're like, oh my God, they Star 69. What do we do? What do we do? Answer it. Answer it. No, don't answer it. They know it. They know. They're onto us.
Well, remember, eventually we figured out that Star 69 just meant they called back to get more harassment, so you just didn't care. Yeah, you called back, so yes, what?
What do you want, Butterman?
What do you want, Butterman? Or if these poor ladies would call late at night, they accidentally wake them up. Oh, dude, one time they just called back like 2 or 3 times. Dude, it was Spanish we didn't understand, man. We just did not understand, but we tried. Dude, we put Noe on. It was we put Noe on. We were like, hey, speak to her in Spanish. We don't know anything.
Oh, that's some good old times, man. Boys, woo,
man.
Always falling asleep.
Fantasies.
Right. Man, I remember you guys had one cat that just hated me because I just happened to pick the cat up and toss him away and hit the table. Hit the wall.
Must have been Mittens. Mittens.
It was Mittens. Mittens hated me. I was like, I just picked the cat up. I'm like, move, cat, and then I tossed her. But I tossed her too far and she hit the wall.
She never walked right after that, huh?
Yeah, that cat hated everybody. Yeah, that cat would attack randomly. Like, you know, people would be hanging out. We'd be playing, like, Magic the Gathering or something, and she'd just randomly attack Clarence or something, like, you know, walk up and just run off. And it's like, holy shit, you just got rocked by a cat.
No, I remember this one cat. It used to belong to Buck Tinsley, and I'm gonna throw his name out there because it was fucked up what we did. I'll say that now, but like fucking, like no, we didn't injure it or anything, but we shaved a Polish mohawk into its head, and I swear to God, you don't think cats stink, but this cat literally, it lost its will. It wouldn't look at us for days, man. Like it wouldn't look at us for days. It always looks sad. Like what did you do to me? But then we'd also be like,
This is still off the topic of fantasy. We've kind of derailed the topic to just randomness.
These are all the events that happen when we play D&D. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that's actually true. There was one night or one afternoon we were at Asian's house, and he lived off of like Palm Avenue or whatever. And I want to say, yeah, Coronado. And me and Joanna went outside. I think it was Joanna. And one of your neighbors up on the second story didn't have a screen on their window, and their window was open, so we started throwing eggs into the window.
Oh, shit.
No, you know what that was? I know exactly what that was. Dude, I know no, we were a single complex. We were a single complex right next to it with these two-story, no shit. You would go, it ran down the whole length of our apartment, so we'd go down the whole line and just try to random shit. Dude, we'd climb the fence over into the fucking little complex over there, dude. It was nuts, dude.
I remember the lady came over. I think it was a lady that lived in there, and she came over and she's like, "I needed to see the apartment manager." And wasn't your mom like the apartment manager? And we're like, oh shit, she's coming over. I was like, and then she went back and her window was still open, so I was like, I'm throwing some more eggs in that bitch's house. I can just imagine you're sitting there minding your own business and eggs just start flying through your window. That was so great.
Fucked up kids, man. It's because we played D&D.
That's good, man.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
I have a headache now.
we played D&D, doing some fucked up shit. It's okay.
We are so far off topic.
Okay, we're bringing it back around, right?
It's all
back around now.
It's all related.
Okay, hold on.
No.
We're gonna go back on topic. We're talking D&D. Asian, what was your favorite character you had? What was your favorite character you ever made?
I didn't really. I like the one that Josh let me put the spoons on all like everywhere, but I did like the were-hamster I came up with the ninja were-ham. Oh no, the monk were-hamster, lycanthrope. That was pretty good. They just with the DMs usually giving us like that much freedom. Dude, we had our own. We had the job. Who was it? Jared. Who invented the Java Beatnik mages? We sat there one night. They drank their tar bean tea and fucking sat there and just did like fucking spells and shit and fucking. It was gnarly.
Oh my god.
No, this was like it was either Jared Travis and me or Josh Travis and me. Dude, it was something like around that factor.
I played it once with Ray Penny and decided I was too dumb to play and never played again.
Yeah, I like playing with Ray Penny, dude. He was a cool guy to play with.
He was very good. He was very patient with me, but I was like, I don't even know which die I'm rolling for. What am I trying to do here?
I still think the best.
Too much.
No offense, Brian, but the best.
And I'm not stupid by any means, but it was just nah.
No offense. I didn't like Brian as a dungeon master. It'd get a little too serious as opposed to Josh. Fury that just let shit go.
So Brian actually played the game correctly, and you guys just went free, balls to the wall, kind of.
I don't know. Brian was a little more serious and let us get away with some shit, but I mean, Josh and Jared let us get away with shit to where it wrecked the campaign. They give us all these cool shit and Gary planned this whole castle. He planned this dungeon. We were all gonna set for this mission, and fucking someone had a wand of enlargement, and they stuck a pebble in the fucking castle walls or the fucking hold wall or whatever, and hit it with this wand of enlargement, which had ridiculous charges on it, until the whole thing just shattered and crumbled. And Gary looked really sad, and we were he's I had this whole shit plan for you, and you just crushed it. And I'm so we kind of all took a meeting that we were gonna backtrack time, and that didn't happen, so we could actually play through what Gary had planned.
Now, the favorite character that I had at one point, I think this was when like me and Josh were playing with Chris Pittman at his house.
Call him Christian or Christopher.
I don't know if it's Nicole's brother. He was weird.
No,
White.
Oh no, that's not the one.
he had two little sisters, and when we played Dungeons and Dragons, like we would rip the heads off the Barbie and hide them and so they'd leave us alone. So they go looking for the Barbie heads. I had a halfling thief with a like invisibility cloak and a bag of holding, and while everyone's sitting there fighting, I would like pickpocket my own friends. And I'd be like, "Oh, he's busy with the skeleton. I roll my d20 to pickpocket him. Awesome. He didn't notice I stole his gold."
Oh, that's so fucked up.
But then they would get like Josh would get pissed or like Chris would get pissed, and he'd be like, "God damn it! You fucking stole from me." And I was like, "Yeah, but you can't get mad because your character doesn't know." I was like, "So you can't get mad." I was like, "So you got to play it like you don't know because you don't know."
Oh, damn.
That would start so many fights too, and it's like, well, I roll to see if my character notices, and it's like, wait, you can't do that.
No, dude, it reminds me of Knights of Badass where he's like, didn't you give his character with his paladin syphilis or whatever, some kind of like elvish syphilis or something like that? He's like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, we used to play Rifts. And I had a glitter boy, and it was like this kind of giant mech suit. And every time I'd get out of the mech suit, I'd go get drunk, and like they'd be like, "Oh, well, now that you're wasted, your Rift suit." It was like, "Dude, where's my car with mech suits?"
You what?
Talking about fucking D&D in the bar. No matter what, there was always a bar fight in our campaigns.
Yeah, always.
No matter what, there was a bar fight. We were at a bar. There's gonna be a fight.
Well, usually that's where you met your party. You're at the tavern and you see this elf staring at you across the way. What do? I fart.
I like Rando. Remember Rando?
Rando, no.
Brian, you remember Rando?
Huh? Oh no.
Rando?
It's a
Randor?
No, Randor. Randor.
Hello, my name is Randor. He like saying everything.
I remember I came with the actual drawing for Randor. I am Randor. Randor was that crazy ass NPC that Josh had, who sang every word.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was awesome.
He just sang and
he was like, "Look, it's mob. We must kill them."
And this was pre-High School Musical. This is how hipster we are.
What?
So this is how hipster we are. It was pre-High School Musical.
Yeah, but this is before geek and nerd shit got big, so we definitely wouldn't sing about it in high school because that would just get our asses kicked and made fun of.
Not me. I just ditched classes.
This was pre-Big Bang. It wasn't cool yet. They'd just be like, "Oh, dude, these guys."
Well, yeah. Now it's.
Nobody in high school fucked with me because I was bigger than most of the football team.
Well, I remember.
I was a small Asian. We can't all be 6'8" like you and Yao Ming.
See, because I ditched school every day, and I went to Jeremy Wagner's house with his sister because I hung out with his sister.
That's
That's just random. You were hanging out with Jamie?
Yeah, she was like my best friend in high school. Her and this chick Erica Mendez that ate ants. It was actually like in high school, she was like a hot, popular chick, and I was like, I don't know why these chicks are hanging out with me, but whatever, let's go watch the Snorks. And they'd all smoke pot. And at this point, like, I didn't do shit. Like, I was totally, like, sober, totally, like, just a nerd. Like, what are you guys doing? And I remember Justin Miller came over one day, and he got in trouble for, like, shooting lizards in the backyard, and, like, the cops showed up, so they sent me downstairs because I was the only sober one. But, I remember some guys tried fucking with me because, I was like the nerdy, geeky, like gothy kid, and they're like, "Oh, you fucking fag." And then Jeremy Wagner actually stood up for me.
The Count Chocula years.
And he was like, "Oh, fuck your ass up if you fuck with him. That's my sister's best friend." And it's like went off on him. I was like, "Holy shit, dude, I got football guys on my side defending me." I was like, "Yeah, that's what happens when you hang out with like the football guy's sister."
I'm gonna have to give Jamie some shit now just for that.
Well, you still actually talk to her?
Yeah.
Wow.
I still talk to Jamie.
Oh yeah. I would go over. We'd ditch school. We'd go over to her house, like watch the Snorks.
So far off track.
And then she had her best. What was her best friend's name? It was that redheaded chick, like Trudy or something like that.
Who was your best?
Yep, I do believe that.
Trudy something or other.
I'm just gonna dish out last names. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm like, oh, I know fucking Jamie's fucking stripper name.
Wait, she's a stripper?
Wow.
It was.
Oh, wow.
I was trying not to put it in that territory, and I kind of.
Sorry, I'm like, you said stripper names. I'm like, that just clicked on me. I'm like, no, she used to fucking dance at fucking Cheetahs on fucking Midway.
Wow.
So I guess that ties with fantasy.
There you go, fantasy.
Fantasies come true, one buck at a time.
Yeah, because I don't even know how I started hanging out with her, but like I would hang out with her at lunch, like her and Trudy. And I was like the nerdy guy that like just hung out with them because I wasn't trying to put the moves on them or anything because I was just like, hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah, I would have been putting the moves on Jamie, but that's just.
Mango. Christ, how about I just bring this in the mango with this in the fridge?
How do we get out of like?
It's a random. We start with fantasy and we just keep sidetracking because there's so much stuff related to our Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering days which is actually a funny story. Speaking of Magic the Gathering, 9th grade I was kind of failing math class because I never showed up. And do you remember Mr. James? He played Magic the Gathering.
Everybody knows who Mr. James is.
Yeah, and he basically made me a deal, and he's like, look. He's like, I know you know this stuff. He's like, but you're not showing up and doing your work, so like you're failing. And he's like, but I know that you know it because when you do show up, like it's right on. You got like 100%. He's like, so I'll make you a deal. He's like, we're gonna play a game of Magic the Gathering. And he's like, I'll put my Lord of the Pit on the line, and you put your highest value card on the line. He's like, if you beat me, then I'll go ahead and give you a passing grade. So we played. I kicked his ass, and then I got the Lord of the Pit card. And then I got a passing grade in math. Because I was like, yes, I got Lord of the Pit, and I passed math class without having to gone except for like 2 or 3 days out of the whole semester.
Hell yeah.
Like, he was an awesome teacher, because I would show up after class to play Magic the Gathering. And he's like, you just don't show up to class, you just show up to play Magic. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, he told us that if we can beat him in chess, then we just get an A in the class and we don't even have to show up. Nobody did that.
He was an awesome teacher because he would like basically be, hey, you beat me at this game, I'll give you a passing grade. It's like, all right.
But he also made like 80% of our grade worth the test. So he's like, look, if you don't want to do the homework and you know it and you ace every test, you get a B.
Mar Vista Legend says.
Fucking on.
No, Mar Vista Urban Legend says somebody actually showed up when he was sick, writing notes for his substitute, and actually beat him because he was having a very sick day. I've heard a story.
No, that's not legend. It's true. That is true.
What happened?
There was a when I was a junior, there was somebody who already graduated who actually beat Mr. James on one day in chess. Mr. James happened to be sick that day, but he was a former student of Mar Vista who did beat Mr. James in chess.
Oh, you know what? See, I thought it was like somebody that was actually going there and got the A. That's not as cool.
No.
Well, no, he was a student at the time when he beat him. It happened before. It happened. It would have happened my sophomore year, but I wasn't at the school yet. But no, it was happened. That student, that kid actually did. I've met him a couple times. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but. That is true. It's not fiction.
You know, they say they're working on a Magic the Gathering movie.
It's fact.
How the hell?
How the hell is it they're doing a World of Warcraft movie? You know, but hey, they're doing World of Warcraft the movie.
That's gonna be like Knights of Badass.
World of Warcraft movie. That'd be.
They're doing a Magic the Gathering movie.
What are you? I'm a Tauren. What are you? I'm a Night Elf. What are you? I'm a dwarf. What are you? I'm human. I don't know. You're gonna be
what?
Warcraft.
Oh, see, I never got into Warcraft. Never got into Warcraft.
I played World of Warcraft in vanilla stage, but
Well, I wouldn't mind watching a movie or reading a book. I just didn't want to play it. I like my games with.
I played World of Warcraft for the beta testing that they had, and we got up to like level 20, and that's basically as high as you could go in the beta, I believe. And then we were so pissed because when it actually came out, like, oh crap, we got to start all over. We can't keep our characters. But what the thing to do was, you would start characters, you would level them up to like between level 5, 10, 15, or 20. And then you would go at Christmas time on eBay and you would sell the file to people for like pre-leveled up characters, so they didn't have to do any of like the early grinding. That was fucking awesome.
I've heard some weird ass shit, man. Like, people selling their fucking poon out for it, and it's like, oh, I'm fucking 12 guys, so I can get enough gold to get like, a plus seven or some shit. I never touched it. I never touched it because I know my addiction level. I have a heavy addiction level. If I touched that game, I'd probably be sunk into it.
Divorce.
Yeah, but
well, like I don't like a lot of people. I don't like multiple.
You can actually make money on that game by selling like gold and shit. I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
No, who's got it? You know who's got it is Prasma. I don't know what he does, but there's a game called Second Life, and he tried to explain it to me one day, and I just couldn't comprehend the intensity of this Second Life. But you technically have a second. There was a whole fucking Law and Order built off. Like it was called like Other Life or something. But yeah, you basically go gambling and da-da-da-da-da, and somehow he takes this money and sells it for real money or da-da-da-da-da and gets extra money in real life by playing this game.
You know what? There are people who are just fucking farmers who would do that shit. Like, wait a minute, I'll just do this.
I don't know, but at one point here enough where I was like, damn, if I could comprehend what you were saying, I would totally do this, because this is ridiculous. Because he's like, oh, I just got, oh my god, dude, really off a game?
Yeah, dude.
No, I totally got to give Prasma fucking props there on mastering that system.
Yeah, you could make some good money selling, files on games, basically. Like, oh, I got this sword, or I did this. And
your body for items.
I was like, people do. They sell their shit for shit. Whatever.
Yeah, but, World of Warcraft is one of those things where, for me, I play it, I get to level, like, 20, 25, and I'm like, man, this is fucking lame. Because you're just doing the same thing over and over.
Well, I didn't mind that for a bit. Like I said, I was playing DCU online, and I didn't mind that. But much like everything else, if that was and that's not even like a full MMO. That's like half fighty, punchy combo game, half MMO. And my thing is, fucking
DC Online was a straight MMO. That's what an MMO is.
But there's more clicking involved in an MMO as opposed to the fighty, punchy combo system. Like when you log in DC, it was like an actual fighting game. You do combos and whatnot to do your thing.
That was exactly an MMO.
Yeah, but in Warcraft, don't you click stuff on computer ones? Click stuff. You don't actually do combos with buttons.
Yeah.
Do you?
See, you have your number buttons. Yeah, you have your quick bar, and you have cooldown on the different spells. So if you have enough spells, like the way I had it set up was like the way my spells were set up was basically like I'd hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you just go down the row, and like the way like the cooldown time and everything was set up is you could just like keep going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's like fireball, lightning bolt, magic, health, this, that, and then you just rinse and repeat. That's why it got so boring. And then you would.
Yeah, we didn't play it on console. We played
it on console, so it's gonna be different than when you play it online.
But I do want to point out though that DC only had 7.
Oh, I was talking about Warcraft. I'm sorry, you guys were talking about DC.
Well, no, I'm just talking about MMOs in general, because like DC, it was like 7 to 8 people in a raid. I hear in Warcraft you could go like 40 people, 20 people. I'm like, damn, there was enough whiny, cry bitches in like 7 to 8 people. I'd hate to see how many people are fucking bitches in like 40 people raids.
Agent, The difference on that, the only thing was different with that is when on an actual raid, it's just a bunch of different groups doing the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd all be.
But you don't have to hear
at the
everybody else.
We had that on that
Yeah, we
console,
had that too.
and it was freezing. Well, yeah, that didn't work on.
Fucked up our
That don't work
PlayStation.
on console because, well, maybe it does now on PS4, but like on PS3,
Oh,
that
you
didn't
know,
work.
so-
They tried that with the missions involving where you went out in the open world, and there was like a mass people, and the minute you get all these people in one area, dude, your shit would freeze. Your shit would
Yeah,
freeze.
Now, the thing with DC Online Universe that pissed me off was I did it on both PlayStation and PC. Both times, it took like a whole day to fucking download and install.
Go to the long
And
game.
then when you're finally like waiting to get on the servers, like you would sit there and wait 3 hours for it to connect to a server. And you're like, all right, connecting. I'm tired of seeing this Lex Luthor screen. And then when you finally get on, I would play. I'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm awesome. I'm kicking some ass in here in this little spaceship, like the starting area. And then you get to like the main lobby area or whatever. And then as soon as you leave that main lobby area out into the world, people are just fucking killing you. It's like a level 20 guy walks by and just like slices
You
you.
chose the, you
Yeah,
didn't
no,
pick the
yeah.
environment.
Yeah, see, I made that mistake, and I almost didn't keep playing the game because of that. When the game prompted you to do player versus environment or player versus player, you can start in either one, and later in the game you could switch back and forth. But yeah, in player versus player, you can walk among the streets, they will kick your ass. In player
Yeah,
versus
but
environment,
it's not. It doesn't describe it at the beginning.
no,
You know,
they
so
do not. No, they did
So
not.
then you're sitting there
Not.
stuck in it. You're like, dude, I've already spent like 4 hours just getting on the fucking server and making this character and finally getting to play it, and now I'm getting my ass handed to me. And you're like, fuck this.
I almost.
The free to play took forever to get into. Yeah, that's
I
true.
almost ditched the game, and I'm lucky someone explained that to me because I was like, oh my god, because it was a fun game. While I was playing it, while I was into it,
We
it was
played it
real.
for like 2 years.
But like I said, after a while, just
Yeah, that is true.
people and
Asian
everyone
played it a lot.
played.
Well, it was free, and then we were like, fuck it, we play it all the damn time, so we started getting the monthly passes.
Yeah, we got
Well,
all these
see,
perks.
Destiny's kind of set up like a mix between an MMORPG and a first-person shooter. It's actually really interesting because it's a first-person shooter, but everybody, like, say you're on Earth and you're doing like whatever you want on Earth, people just randomly are throwing all into the same like server with you. So like, you know, the other day there was like 20 guys just all doing their shit together. What's Brian doing there?
I'm trying to fucking like talk like I'm you.
Oh, so there's like 20 guys, you know, and the only downside to it is, yeah, I'm getting so distracted by Brian. The downside to it is that there's no real communication. So unless you're friends with the people and you're actually like, you know, in a group with them as a friend, like you can't actually talk to them. You can't communicate with them. So people are just running around doing their own thing. It's like, oh, hey, I'm running over here doing this, and you know, you're like, let me help you, and they're just like, fuck you, I'm doing this.
Well, in DC, you had to join a group to do like the big raids, and obviously
Right.
the big stuff out in the open world.
Yeah, this one, if you don't have groups, it will put you in a group for raids, because there are specifically raids for like leveling up and grinding. But what people have found is there's certain spots where you can just farm enemies. You just stand back far enough, and the enemies just keep spawning out of like certain cave areas, and you know, 5 or 6 guys will just sit there shooting them as soon as they spawn, and you know, for 3 or 4 hours they'll just sit there, just shooting whatever comes out of the cave. And then what's really fun, if I have a video I'll post later about this, is if you want to piss them off, like when you see them farming the spawn area, is you go into the cave and you just sit down, and nothing will spawn because you're in the cave. And then everyone starts shooting at you and throwing their grenades at you, which doesn't damage you at all. They'll like hit you with their knife to try to get you to move out of the way. And like one guy, he was messaging me and he's like, "Hey, please move." So I put my character to start dancing, and I was like, "Dance moves." And then some other guy came in and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Welcome to my home." And he's like, "Oh, it's a very nice place." And I was like, "Yes, it's the Martha Stewart collection for caves." And then he sat in the corner because he was like hoping that I'd leave and just get bored. And I was like, "Don't sit in that corner. That's the poo corner. Watch your step."
You know what? I've been reading some articles on that. And I'm like, it's not a game I play, but it seems like people are into it. The graphics look great. It's just not my cup of tea. I watched Madden. It looked fun, but it's just not my cup of tea, dude.
Well, you know, it's fun. The only problem with it right now is the server issues. And this was what pisses me off, is because Bungie keeps putting the server issues off onto players, saying, oh, it's your NAT settings, or it's this setting, or it's that setting. And it's like, look, Bungie, I've been connected for the last half hour on your server, and then when I suddenly get booted because it gets busy, that's not my router that's the problem. That's your fucking server that's the problem. Like, my connection is fine.
I saw you were having problems, but I saw you actually started connecting and actually being able to play. So
yeah,
I mean,
at the right time. Like, right now, if I went on, I'd probably be able to connect pretty decently on certain areas. Like, if I go to Earth or the Moon, I can connect fine. But, like, on Venus, it seems there's a lot more people connected there, so I can't connect. Like, I'll be on for 5 minutes and get booted off.
Did you say you're going to connect with a penis?
Oh, no, on Venus, the planet.
Oh.
So, yeah, you get a jump ship, and you go, like, you know, you have missions on Earth, you have missions on the Moon, Venus, and then missions on Mars. But I can't progress the story because...
The graphics on the commercial, I know they're the PS4 graphics, but they look ridiculously smooth. They look
they're actually really good on the PS... The only thing is, because I'm running it through the video capture card, with the PlayStation, for whatever reason, the HDMI cable, it's like blocked on video capture devices because Sony doesn't want people pirating off of the PlayStation. So you have to run it through Component, which isn't as high quality as the HDMI.
No, I mean, I tried to play like Grand Theft Auto and shit on Component and
with video games.
What's that, Brian? What was that?
This fantasy show for It's Geeky has been hijacked by video games.
Bring it back around.
Bring it back around.
Destiny is fantasy.
Sci-fi fantasy, I give it that. I mean, it involves planets and
But
stuff.
it's a video game. I'm just sitting here like losing my mind because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay, back to non-gaming fantasy stuff.
I don't
How
know.
about
like,
that Anna Nicole Smith?
Sitting here, like, that's why I started like voicing you guys because you guys don't have cameras. I'm like talking like you guys.
Well, I have a camera.
you
It's just that my allergies are still acting up, and I look like shit right now. So I'm just like,
That's why
I gotta say, you know what? It's a good thing we don't have a camera because my wife, she's like actually wearing this dress that looks nice, but I'm just like sitting here in like a wife beater and like my fucking amazing boxer. So it's a good thing we don't have a camera. No one wants to see that.
And I decided I didn't want to put pants on today, so.
This is where not having a camera because they can look at the boobs and not have to look at the little penis hole in my amazing orange boxers.
What the what? You have to. Geeka, I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
I'm telling you, right?
He's still dressed in family barbecue attire and actually looks pretty good. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, hey, I'm like sitting here just chilling.
Yeah, see, you can't see me watching South Park half the time, and
I'm just drinking, having a good old time, enjoying this. You know what? We have one viewer, and you know what? Thank you, viewer, for watching. I don't know who it is.
It's probably Clarence.
I don't know. That does remind me. Nobody's posted anything on the page. I'm like, nobody's commenting. Nobody loves us anymore.
No one loves us to begin with. We just do this for our own satisfaction, really.
Hey, man, we had 4 viewers. 4.
I can remember when we had that 4 viewers. I'm like, it was fun. I remember when we had like random people join us and shit. That was fucking hilarious.
That was cool.
You know, it seems like today is a Saturday where a lot of people are going out. I think we actually seem to have more viewers on a Friday than we do on Saturdays, it seems.
Have you seen what's on TV on Friday? It sucks.
Because there's nothing on Friday.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true because...
SmackDown. SmackDown's on.
Ooh, SmackDown. You mean Raw recap?
Raw recap.
The Raw recap, but hey, dude, motherfucking Rusev and fucking Roman Reigns will fight. Look, now he's got a fucking hernia, and motherfucking he's gonna be out Night of Champions, so...
Why don't you guys talk about this tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, we are.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about that and how Roman Reigns will not be wrestling, and we're sad. Women everywhere are depressed.
He looks so good in that hospital bed still.
Yeah, even Nico was like, look, he still looks good in the hospital bed. She's like, the vapors.
Well, I'm going to have to share this thing, a Nerdist thing I just found.
I'm sorry, I'm pretty tipsy right now. I've literally finished a 6-pack.
Damn.
Get it.
Rock that shit.
Yeah.
Rock that shit.
I have taken some cough syrup for my allergies, and I actually had to stop taking.
These are
Huh?
Was that
Yeah,
Newcastle, bro?
This is what I have left. I'm sad. We've been doing this for like an hour. We've been doing this for like an hour and a half. I don't even know what we're talking about. We talked about some Game of Thrones. We talked about some
Harry Potter's fantasy. They're talking about doing a new Harry Potter based off.
We talked about some D&D, some Game of Thrones, some Hobbit. Hell, you know what?
Oh, are we wrapping it up?
Conan a little bit. Let's talk about some. We talked about some South Park, Game of Stick of Truth or something.
Harry Potter is awesome. Well, the books are awesome. The movies suck. Like I said, the movies I can be up to 1 through 3, but by Goblet of Fire, when they fucking fucked that up,
what the fuck? Yeah, I'm like, Goblet of Fire. Yeah, I'm like.
We're talking about Harry Potter.
So much was left out of the movies from the book.
They turned the whole fucking game into a bullshit crock.
Yes, that's true. But without the movies, we would not have Mr. Alan Rickman as Severus Snape.
No, he was good. He was good.
He was the epitome of that icy cold asshole that I love.
They're actually talking about doing the new movie based on the Birtle stories.
Oh yeah, the Beetle
Bard.
Yep.
Yeah, Beetle Bard.
I'm still trying to figure out why they have to do book 7 as a 2-parter.
Because they wanted to put all the shit in it as much as they could.
Extra shit, which they did.
Well,
yeah,
but they wanted to make sure because. Well, there's so many like long scenes, like especially in oh god, was it in book 7? Yeah, they were going after like the cup inside the vault and shit. Like that scene alone was really long.
See, and it was cool for me because
just that one scene, you know.
Well, by the time my wife got me in the mood to read it, all the 7 books were out, so I didn't have to wait for shit. I can just plow on through books 1 through 7.
Oh no, I had to wait. I had to order shit, pre-order. Had to get it the day of, but get the last. What?
For me, but what pissed me off the most though, because I'm like, I end up reading all the books just for I'm like, I'll fucking read Harry Potter, whatever. And then they said they're fucking turning book 7. They're turning the 7th movie into a 2-parter. The thing that pissed me off is I think the 5th book.
Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, Order of the Phoenix.
They left a shitload out of the fucking movie.
They left a shitload of 4 out of the movie. They left and I didn't even I watched 6,
1 and 2,
but I didn't watch 7.
1 and 2 are the most faithful to the books, but they are also the shortest books.
But you know what? They are all true.
And they were directed by Chris Columbus.
Well, I did like it when they got older and darker. Around the 3rd one, it started getting real dark, and I like that.
That one actually is my favorite.
Well, that's where I didn't feel like it was like, a kiddie thing. It's like, oh shit, dude, now it's getting dark and like
Sirius Black.
We'll see Sirius
Black.
Black.
And Death Eaters, Death Eaters.
Well, they were doing with
that was actually
but then you actually really see more of them.
Oh yeah, well that's where.
What?
Viewer, I don't know who the viewer was, but we lost them. We had a viewer for a long time. I don't know who.
Maybe it was just one of those random ones that came across it on Google Hangouts. I'm like, oh, fuck these guys. They're not getting naked.
They were waiting for.
That's all everyone.
We got a viewer again. We got a viewer.
Oh, it was a fluke. He got kicked or something.
I don't know. But the one I got pissed off at is like when they when the fucking Death Eaters attacked fucking Hogwarts the first time. There was a big ass giant fucking wizard fight. They never even put in the movie.
Never even showed.
Where's my wizard battle? What the fuck? Where is this?
You talking about the fight for Hogwarts at the end?
No. It's when Dumbledore died.
Oh god, I
cried. That was
cried.
sick, wasn't it?
Okay, remember when Dumbledore died? The Death Eaters attacked Hogwarts, and there was a giant fucking. There was like chapters upon chapters in the book.
I will admit they did cut that. They did cut that battle down. They cut that battle down a lot.
That was a crazy ass battle, and they didn't show any of that in the movie.
Well, what about I was expecting the whole Quidditch match in what was that? The one they go to the World Quidditch Championships, and it's like Ireland.
There was Quidditch in everyone, wasn't it? Or no, wait, that's
the World Championship.
That's the one where the Dark Mark was first
Yeah,
activated.
that's with Barty Crouch. That is number
4.
4? 4,
Well,
yeah,
there
that's
was Quidditch. There was Blitzball.
Well,
Yeah,
that's the one where the fucking. You know what? I didn't appreciate the movies taking out all
because
the house.
that's when they took
Dobby.
Dobby. That's when they took Dobby out of the movie, wasn't it? No, when did they take Dobby out?
Well,
No, Dobby
but
was
in
in
the book, it was that the other
It
person's
was
house.
Blinky.
That
The
house
drunk
troll
house elf.
set off the fucking dark mark of Voldemort.
Oh no, he was in that one.
No, that's what I'm saying, but it set off that
Winky?
Winky or whatever set it off, or she was
Oh, yeah, they
beat up
took
or
that one
whatever. Well, I did like that because like that became the Jar Jar Binks of the series.
Dobby was awesome. In
Jar
the
Jar-
book. In the book.
Jar Jar Binks of the fucking movies.
In the book, he was good.
Misa get in trouble, Harry Potter.
See, I was always messed that they didn't have fucking the fucking poltergeist.
Oh,
Peeves.
Peeves.
Steve's.
You know, Nick
They didn't have
Mayall
Peeves.
was supposed to play him.
Peeves was not in the movie whatsoever.
Yeah, Rick Mayall was supposed to play him, and he's amazing.
But there was no Peeves. I was pissed. So, and like, whatever. What was your favorite Harry Potter movie, Nika?
My favorite movie is
3
probably...
for me. Like I said, after 4, it just fucked it up for me.
No, I actually like 7 and 8, because it seems more complete.
You know what? I want to know what happened. They were talking about a Artemis Fowl movie that never came to fruition,
that
and
was so
dude,
good.
I miss Artemis Fowl. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's new books. I'd like to check
Yeah.
that out. And then they were talking about a Necroscope movie that just never came
That
to
would've been cool,
fruition,
too.
and fucking, I kind of wanted to see that happen.
You know
Well,
what?
the Necroscope movie, because that'd be a spin on vampires you haven't seen, unless they made it all like movie vampires
Yeah.
and fuck them for fucking it up.
I actually want to see American Gods.
That's gonna be a badass series for fucking stars, dude.
Neil Gaiman is great.
Neil Gaiman is great. They gotta do it right. I mean, like fucking. I also can't pick a bunch of young people, or I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'm like,
They're supposed to be old.
Anything as American Gods doesn't need to be. It needed to be just a one-shot movie, because you can close it
Well, it's
off.
gonna
You
be
can start it.
It's not gonna be a series. It's gonna be a mini series, I heard.
Oh my! And then fucking actually, you know what would be an actually interesting series? Would be Neverwhere.
I'm about to never would be good, but it would be requiring so much CGI or sets built and everything because they were just disappearing and jumping all over that fucking book.
Yeah, it was, but I'm like, that would be fun to watch. I think I'm like.
I know there's a comic book on it, dude, and I looked at the covers and I was like, oh no. You get like the Game of Thrones comic book. I looked at that and I was like, you look too happy for Game of Thrones. There's not enough sadness in this.
Game of Thrones? No, it wasn't Game of Thrones that was looking happy. It was fucking. Was it Game of Thrones?
It was a Game of Thrones comic book about Southern Cali Comics.
More shady.
And I was like, oh, look at it. No, I downloaded it. And fucking Southern Cali is where I saw Neverwhere when I was looking through their dollar bins. But fucking oh, did you just break your glasses? Okay. But fucking I downloaded and read the first issue of Game of Thrones, and it was just like too bright for fucking Game of Thrones. I'm like, no, they look too happy. They need to look more sad. And you can't transfer the wieners to that medium.
One thing
Soft.
series
Nice and soft.
that I was hoping would be actually interesting to watch, but after I started watching the series, nowhere near the books, was Legend of the Seeker.
There's a.
Legend. It made it 2
I hear
seasons.
Seeker, I think Harry Potter.
Yep. Oh,
But,
gee.
Legend Seekers made it 2 seasons. Is based off of Gary Goodkind's fucking Sword of Truth series. I was watching the first. It didn't even tie in. It was loosely based on the books.
I don't know, is it like anything like the Dragonlance cartoons that just sucked?
You know what?
9 out of 10, when they transfer this medium, it sucks. Like, seriously, like, half the fantasy movies, I ain't gonna lie, like, suck. Like, D&D, I love the movie. It's a personal favorite, but if you ask anyone,
It sucks.
sucks.
What about Legend?
The sci-fi episode movie.
The sci-fi continuance of Damodar, that was pretty good.
That was actually a fucking good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, They actually
But it still
did a
came from,
D&D movie.
I am
They did a
Damodar.
D&D party. Damodar. Yeah, Damodar was like a cool villain. which kind of tied it into the first movie, but how they actually introduced.
Well, he was way better.
It
Way
was
better than
different.
Jeremy Irons to begin with.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons can act, and that was the problem. He brought too much acting to a serious movie.
He
He was
doesn't
like sitting there, and like he was the only serious thing about it. Everyone else was being Marlon Wayans or goofing off, and he was like, "Blood will rain from the skies," and you're like, "Wow, dude."
Hold on. No, Jeremy Irons cannot act. Jeremy Irons can overact.
Jeremy Irons is great in other movies when it's not D&D.
Baby Gruber.
I was about to say Baby Gruber. That was pretty good.
Yep.
Scar.
Yep.
Come on, man.
And I don't even like that movie, but he was good.
Jeremy Irons is overacting the entire time.
Well, no, if everyone can act up to his par, it's good. But like when you put him in D&D, like I said, you're going up against Marlon Wayans, well, the Keira Knightley or some stupid shit like
It's
that.
like Olivier in D&D. It's weird.
Yeah, it was like you got a real actor, but it was like not just.
He also from the Adventures of Lois and Clark.
You said Brie Olson?
Okay, remember there was a guy who played Jimmy
Is
Olsen.
he a porn star?
Oh, Jimmy. Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't Brie Olson a porn star? I heard Brie Olson, not Jimmy Olsen.
Brie Olson is a porn star. She's fun to watch.
Didn't she bang Charlie Sheen?
Yep.
It was part of his winning ladies
Yep.
crew.
Yep.
Possibly, but
What about Jimmy Olsen?
I don't know if I could bang a porn star to bang Charlie Sheen. I mean, it sounds cool in theory,
No, gross.
but
Gross.
yeah, you know she's been stretched a mile wide. I'm not saying he's got a big dick, but obviously, man.
I wouldn't bang any porn star just because you know they get around.
you know what?
Yeah,
I'd bang a porn star because, well, why the fuck not?
my
So
dick
makes
might
sense.
fall off.
Because a lot of porn stars have had STDs, or you know,
Burn.
because STDs are pretty prevalent in porno.
You got that common law now in California, though.
That's why they're not filming a lot of porn. I don't know. I'm in the internet era. That's one part where I'm caught up with technology,
Yeah.
where I just stream my porn, so I don't have to go download it anymore or go to video. It's like, hey, guess what? You want to see fucking panda, a guy in a panda suit?
No,
fisting-
I don't want to see a guy in a panda suit. That's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know who actually downloads porn. You just type in something in Google like "hot bitches with dildos" and then go to videos, and
Well,
you're taking down the rabbit hole.
I have to celebrate. I saw some news article the other day, God knows where, that porn's getting its own search engine. I'm like, I thought they already had it, but you know what? I
It's
guess
called Google.
It was
Yeah.
called Google.
No, fat ass can of worms.
It's called Google, and they put nipples on the O's.
I mean, you ever try to look up midget tusk fucking on Google? I mean, you just get a can of worms.
I'm sad. This is no longer. This is empty now.
You need to break into the
Only Newcastle Werewolf. I've never heard of Newcastle Werewolf.
It's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, because I like Newcastle, so.
And it is Blood Red Ale.
Blood Red Ale.
That's for fucking Halloween.
I got Halloween Captain Crunch, so fuck yeah.
It's one of their year-round beers.
It turns the milk green. The ghost turned the milk green.
I could go for some fucking Captain Crunch right now.
I have Captain Crunch.
Das Crunch? You want Crunch?
Yeah, but does
I
yours
don't
have
bear-
ghosts that turn the milk green?
No, they don't. There's
They
a shit
don't.
ton of berries, though.
It would
Hey,
be
did
even
you
better.
see-
It would even be better if it was glow in the dark ghost in your cereal.
Hey, remember those fucking red
Nice.
Ninja Turtle pies that came out? The fried Ninja Turtle pies.
Yeah.
With vanilla pudding?
Oh yeah.
Dick. I was like, fucking, I could totally eat a green
Look at
pie right now.
Brian over here hiding behind his werewolf box.
With eye holes?
He's like it's like 3D right there. You can make some 3D lenses out of your beer box.
That would be awesome. What do you got? This is my 3D glasses.
Everyone looks sexier and in 3D as I get drunker.
You know what? I actually went to some news site the other day, and they had something that says this vision, this like optical illusion triggers natural hallucinogens.
Oh,
And no
those
shit.
things.
No, I was high as fuck, and it was like a bunch of lines going everywhere, and I stared at that thing for like 10 minutes, man. I was like, and then my phone did that thing where it automatically shuts off, and I was sad. I was like, no, where did it go? My hallucinations were...
It's one of those things where like you stare at it for a few minutes, and then like when you look away, everything's kind of like wavy and like breathy, kind of looking.
No, my thing is, the thing was, as long as you looked at it, you can trip the optical illusions.
Sailboat. A scooter is a sailboat.
I never get
Oh
those.
yeah.
Jack in the Box one put up the one the other day, and I just could not see. I am terrible at those. I can never see.
You really? You yell out, buddy's fake.
Doesn't work. Relax your eyes. Doesn't work. Everything I've tried, like cross your eyes, it works. No, it don't. Relax your eyes. No, it don't. Still don't see it. I'm like the guy from Mallrats, just like standing there, like an idiot.
Asian, do you bring a lunch? Yes. Now, you plan out your day. You bring a lunch to make sure you can see the image, and you're gonna think that's your day.
Yep.
I'm gonna see it today, and then the little kid says it's a schooner, and you go, it's a sailboat, you dumbass. And the little kid looks at you. It's a schooner. A schooner is a sailboat, dumbass, and kicks you in the shin and runs off.
Well, it's dummy, but like no, like it's luckily someone put in the
No,
comments.
it's you dumb idiot.
Like a
Stupid idiot.
The scooter is a sailboat, dummy. And you know what? It was cool because I put that, like, it was like one of the comments I was like, it's not a scooter, it's a sailboat. It was like, got 20 likes, and this guy like tried to make a walrus joke there, and someone had answered below that, and below that someone's like, looks like they did make a walrus joke there. Boom! And it's like, boom goes the microphone.
I need more beer.
You don't have any.
Yes, I do. I have a couple more. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.
He's got more beer.
Oh.
Awesome.
I started looking up optical illusions, trying to find some online
I wish
now.
I could find one the other day, man. That was just nuts. Like, seriously, it flashed me back to when I used to take acid, man. Like, fucking, I was like staring at it, and I was like, oh my god. Oh, hold on. Wife's got to go get peanut butter crunch.
No, Captain Crunch.
You don't have Captain Crunch.
I do.
Captain Crunch. Fuck yeah.
No, Berry Crunch ain't as good as peanut butter crunch.
No, I don't like peanut butter crunch. I'm all about the berries.
Now, here's a question. Like, fucking, do you think we're gonna see any good, like minus The Hobbit? Are we gonna see any good fantasy movies coming up, or did we just lose that genre entirely for the most part because it got oversaturated?
I can't think of any fantasy movies that are coming out other than The Hobbit. But 2015, it seems like there's gonna, Marvel movies are gonna be the big thing again. Avengers, all that stuff.
Dude, I don't want to say the market's getting saturated, bro, but we're getting to a motherfucking point where they're coming out with a Supergirl movie, or no, a TV, and I'm like, okay, dude, can you slow down a bit?
Well, it's because it got popular. Being geeky and into this kind of stuff became popular all of a sudden. And it's like, the stuff we've been into our whole lives is all of a sudden now like, oh, well, it's cool.
Well, I'm not gonna get on the hipster level. I'm glad more people.
We are trendsetters. We are the trendsetters. We are the hipsters. We already knew.
No, I mean, just look at like Comic-Con, for example. Like when we went to Comic-Con as kids, it was a small kind of thing.
Hipster geeks, man. I can't agree. I am happy more people are into it and it's becoming more mainstream, but my thing is I think we are getting to the point where it's oversaturation, because like I'm glad all this geeky nerdy whatever shit is coming to the forefront. That's awesome.
I am too, but then when you have like the when you have the people that are just into it for right now, and next summer they're going to be into something else. It was like the Twilight crowd, where it's like, vampires have always been cool, but now all of a sudden these girls are all into vampires because they're fucking glittery.
Well, if you look at all these shows that are coming out, dude, motherfucking, they're all based off of a graphic novel or a comic book. And I mean, I understand, like, I want to see a lot of things from the big screen, but Supergirl's the least of my worries, man.
Yeah, Supergirl's kind of uninteresting. But
Say what?
Where's Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman,
Wonder Woman-
that's going to be
Wonder
good,
Woman,
I think.
that's pilot stage.
That was awful.
They did a pilot in which she looked horrible. They kept changing the
Yeah, that was
suit.
awful,
It
that
still
one.
looked horrible, and then it just never made it to. No one picked it up. That just
The
died.
reason why-
That just died.
God. I mean, the chick was hot, but she could not act.
I guess there's a new Superman Wonder Woman Eternal. She goes from the goddess of war to the goddess
The
of
piece.
peace.
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
She wears an all white.
I just don't want it to be a. I just never got into it. The Superman and Wonder Woman were kissing and shit. I'm like, I don't care, dude. I don't want it to be a superhero
This
rom-com.
episode of Geeky is not brought to you by Samuel Smith.
Mhm.
Nut Brown. No.
Well, that looks high. That looks like a high-end beer, man.
It is pretty good.
Like Captain Crunch. No, Brian. No, you weren't here. I was like, I asked Matt. I'm like, do you think we're gonna see any good, like, minus The Hobbit? Are we gonna see any good fantasy movies upcoming, small or like to the big screen? God damn it, dude. And fucking, or do you think we just jumped at where that was all in the past, where we had all the Lady Hawks and fucking Dragon Slayers and shit like that?
You know what, though? You're mentioning all these movies back in the day, but did any of these ever really come to the theater?
In limited engagements.
Labyrinth, Master of the Universe,
Maybe Lady Hawk. Maybe.
Lady Hawk.
I don't remember Lady Hawk in theaters.
I think the first
Conan.
Beastmaster did, but that was before my
Yeah.
time. I just watched it.
Beastmaster did.
But most of the movies that we loved back as children, were like made for video movies.
Trancers 1 through 85,000 that I watched with Jack Death. That was awesome. Trancers was an awesome series. We had the blonde guy Tim Thompson or whatever from fucking the Wrong Guys movie, like with Louis Anderson, and fucking that was sick. I forget the fuck. It was like sci-fi more than fantasy, dude. But I watched up to Trancers 1 through 4. Then went like to Trancers 10. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, you're still making Trancer movies?
Well, now like fantasy movies are kind of. I think they're going away and they're being replaced with things like kind of. I don't want to call it action fantasy, but like the Maze Runner is kind of where it's going.
Ew. Ew.
It's more going to the
Hunger Games? Ew.
Yeah, Hunger Games and.
The book is going to go through the book section titled mature adult teen
Young adult.
I don't know what is it teenage reading or something?
Yeah.
No.
You
Young
can
adult.
dance as a young adult.
Young adults.
Now there's Cinderella's coming out with the new movie that looks more like gritty. Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Avatar 2. Both I'm not
But,
interested in.
I'd love a good fantasy movie if done right. But like, even when they were putting out, remember Dragonheart with Sean Connery as a dragon? I mean, that was kind of
Oh,
dumb.
yeah.
Sean Connery to be a dragon.
Much as I
There's-
loved it, that movie sucked ass.
There's
That movie
one
did
called
suck.
Empires of the Deep that's supposed to be coming out that looks kind of interesting.
Let me see.
It looks like one of those movies that's not going to get any like real attention, and then it'll be like a kind of more of a cult following. Yeah. Because like they did try a couple of fantasy movies where they did Snow White and the Huntsman with Buttface from Twilight.
Sucked
Oh,
ass.
that was cool.
That's
No, Kristen Stewart.
hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
That movie
Dracula
sucked.
Untold's coming out.
I saw a commercial for that, and that actually looks like 300 meets Dracula. It was pretty gnarly.
It looks like they're trying to ungay the vampires that Twilight has gayed up.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't know. Like I said, it looks like a little bit of Van Helsing mixed with a little 300. I'd give it a shot on download.
But if you look up Empires of the Deep, it looks kind of interesting.
I sat through Van Helsing, and I don't see why wouldn't sit through this.
Sit through what?
I just downloaded a movie called Curse of the Dragons. It's probably one of those straight to video movies, but I'm gonna see how
Yeah.
that turns out.
I mean, other like supposed to be fantasy movies like Percy Jackson and stuff like that, they just sucked.
I did Clash of the Titans was all right. I mean, the original, the new one,
The other, if
Yeah,
they would
well,
have
it's
titled
because
if they would have titled it something other than Clash of the Titans, I would have been happy.
yeah. No, it was good. It was good.
we'll just wait till they redo Jason and the Argonauts.
See, now that was
That
a great
movie awesome.
movie. That's because
What?
That's the thing is when you were forced to actually be creative and to have to like try to make something look cool and real with actual physical things and not just computer graphics. Like computer graphics kind of killed motion pictures as far as
stop motion is the stop motion. I still love stop motion.
yeah. I think stop motion any day over computer graphics. And like when you see computer graphics, like you're just like, oh man, here's another CG heavy movie, and it's like it just looks like CG.
For kids now, like fucking How to Train Your Dragon. Although How to Train Your
Hey,
Dragon,
that's an alright movie.
fantasy movie.
I enjoyed those movies.
No, I just still I would like to see a more adult-oriented fantasy, not of a franchise like Hobbit. Like
They do. Just put in CG XXX in Google, and you will have an adult-oriented.
Well, not that adult. I'm thinking rated R, but hey,
Oh,
I
that's
think that
more
too.
than
I
just
did
some
mention
adult-rated material right there.
But
well, I
I
did
mean,
mention the promo for this, the post that I did have that Elvish thing where some Elvish lady.
yeah, when you do look at the movies that are supposed to be, I mean, even like Lord of the Rings and stuff, it's like so CG heavy, it gets kind of ridiculous. Even though I think the Desolation of Smog was pretty good.
like a novella being filmed.
But, like that movie was just so drawn out. There was things that weren't even in the book that they fucking just elaborated on for.
Yeah, and that was one of the things is like, especially in The Hobbit, like they just drew out so much stuff, and it's like, do I really need to sit here for 3 hours to like, do you need to fill 3 hours with like them walking and kind of like,
I think Lord of the Rings, they cut out some good stuff that was going to be long and drawn. Like, in the books, the motherfucking, the ants, the trees, they sing a lot.
Yeah, they fucking
Here they just
skipped
cut out all the songs, thank God, and all the Elvish songs and all the Dwarven songs.
Hey, leave
lot
the
of-
Elvish songs alone.
yeah, when
Sing.
they do the Elvish songs and stuff, I'm just like, oh crap.
Skip.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Yep. I did like in the first one, the first Hobbit, the comical Dwarven doing the dishes song.
That you mean Hobbit?
Yeah, in the first Hobbit where the dwarves
Yes,
were doing the dishes, and that was kind of
Oh.
funny, but
Yeah, but that was all right.
then they were like, hey, let's
Yeah,
sing this battle dirge for 7 minutes, and I'm like, no, don't sing a battle dirge for 7 minutes.
That's exactly why I like getting stuff on Blu-ray or just like the Hobbit movies. I just waited until they were on HBO or Cinemax or whatever, and just put them on the DVR. Because I'm like, fuck it.
I said I've had Return of, or Desolation of Smaug up since it was the Oscar presented for version,
Smog.
but it's just so long, and even with Double Cumberbatch, I'm like, I'm gonna want to skip parts of that movie, and I know it. I just don't have the attention span
Did you
for it.
say Double Cumberbatch?
Double
Hey, did you
Cumberbatch.
see the King Kong prequel with like fucking Loki himself, Tom Hiddleston?
No.
It'd be called Skull Island.
Well, and like going back to CG and how it ruined movies, like Godzilla.
Hey, you know what? Minus the first boring chunk, although they had to reestablish the story, I stand by the American version. There should have been more Godzilla, but they set the premise. By the
Not
next
enough
one, there'll be more
Godzilla for a movie called Godzilla.
The original cheesy ass Godzillas are better. I mean, I've got like 5 different Godzilla movies throughout the years on my DVR right now. I need to watch. I have like Space
Godzilla
Godzilla.
Final War. I'm telling you, Godzilla Final War is like 3 hours long, but it's great.
Let me
It's
see.
amazing.
Let me see. I actually have I have 20 gigs of all Godzilla movies.
Yeah, no, I got that one.
How many Godzilla movies there are?
My Godzilla collection is 28 gigs big.
No, it's ridiculous. But you know what? This new one, I was eating crow because I bashed it, and minus the setup for the first half of the movie. The second half, I mean, they had the Godzilla, they had him being the protector, they had him doing the radioactive breath. I mean, it was good. It was good, and I can't wait to see the next one. Hopefully, they throw in Mothra and Rodan and fucking Ghidorah or whatever else.
Asian, I do
What?
agree with you on that one. The thing I embrace the most and I love the most is the fact that he stayed pretty close to the look of the original Godzilla.
And it wasn't.
Even though,
It wasn't. Oh, look, it's the humans versus the giant thing wrecking the city. No, even Ken Watanabe's character established like he is a great protector. Da da da. Let him battle. Da da da. You're like, all right, let him battle. That's right, let him battle. And then when he took off at the end, and everyone's like, fucking, oh, great protector Godzilla. I'm like, that's the way it's supposed to be. Not, oh, look, we need to army to first Godzilla. It's like, oh, Godzilla's saving our ass. I'm like, that was cool. That was cool.
I mean, I did love the fact that like Godzilla was a long drawn out part, but
Bryan Cranston, spoiler, Bryan Cranston died, and I think he really shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's the one thing that pissed me off. I'm like, if you watch the trailers and shit for Godzilla, you think he's a big chunk of the movie. He's important.
Yeah, there's like 34. Wait.
He dies within the next the first half an hour of the movie.
No, about 45
Like
minutes.
38
Yeah, but
Godzilla movies throughout since the 50s.
34.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, there's almost like 40.
Anyone that listens to this or will listen to this has obviously, I ain't got an attention span, but I sat through 3 hours and whatever of Godzilla Final Wars, and that shit was sick.
What year was that?
2004, I want to say. It came out in Japan. And it was like Godzilla on every monster ever, including the English version. It came out after the first Godzilla here with Matthew Broderick, because there was a scene where it was Godzilla versus that monster, and in the Japanese version, they said it was like labeled Godzilla versus the Imposter or whatever, and he beats it in a record like 10 seconds. The thing runs at him, he like fucks it up, and it's just like, ah!
Yeah.
Like, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, this guy, Tsutomu Kitagawa, did like the last bunch of Godzillas before the American ones.
Oh, dude, the Final Wars, I haven't seen, if there was any after that, I haven't seen that one, but that one was...
But Asian, there is apparently in the works Godzilla 2 for the year 2018 with Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah. Oh, dude, that was like one of the first ones I saw. It was like, it was Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, and it was Rodan.
There were 23 Godzilla movies.
No, you have to remember, because I'm looking right here, there's 28 Japanese ones, and then there's 6 American. And then there's a television, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4 television series of Godzilla throughout the year.
There was one that was just like Godzilla 1985 that sucked. I remember seeing that one on VHS. It sucked.
Yeah, because there's 5 Americans with the Godzilla 2 for 2018, and then there's 28 of the actual Japanese Godzillas.
Like I said, I stand by most. This new one, if part 2, like I said, they've already gone ahead. Dude, Godzilla was out for 2 days, and they said, we're going to plan a sequel. And I was like, all right, cool.
Well, that's what they do now. It's like, oh, that made some good money. Let's do a sequel.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I'm waiting for that to hit download. I still want to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Actually, yeah, I do need to see. I want to see, because there's Planet of the Apes, there's Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, right? There's 3 of them now.
No, first it's 2. Well, in the newer series, it's just 2. Rise and then Dawn.
Marky Mark Planet of the Apes doesn't count, is what you're saying.
That does not. That does not count. That reboot just totally. What wasn't that Tim Burton?
That's a Tim Burton, yeah. And that was actually a good Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
that was actually.
I didn't like that at all.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent.
What?
I thought it was good. It was all right. It had Charleston Heston in it still.
What?
And it had Marky Mark. Mr. Marky Mark.
I will say, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch MCD, R.I.P. Fucking go in there and do it. But much like Tim Burton, he's like, hey, let me throw a Helena Bonham Carter in there to
HBC.
HBC. He threw her in there for some bullshit reason. I was like, oh, come on.
Wait, was she in there?
Yeah, she was like one of the main apes, dude. It's just, I see where it has his appeal, but I just didn't dig it.
Someone needs to kill him and like everyone he puts in his movies.
Oh.
Because it's the same people over and over, and it's like, dude, get a different cast. Especially her. She's not a good actress.
No, I like her. I like her in a couple things like Sweeney Todd and
Oh God, that movie was terrible.
I love Sweeney Todd. You like Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd was awesome. It was just fun.
It was terrible.
Alan Rickman, Sacha Baron Cohen,
Oh,
fucking Johnny Depp. I mean, even there, he broke the Johnny Depp mold.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp didn't get to be Johnny Depp.
I think because it was a musical, I didn't like it.
See, yeah. I do like good musicals.
I just don't dig on musicals. And then, like he put her in Alice in Wonderland as the Red Queen, and it's like, oh God, she sucks.
Yeah, no, see, I didn't like his wife in damn near almost anything she did. I did like her in Sweeney Todd. I did like her in Fight Club, but he didn't do Fight Club.
Well, yeah.
She was a torque-back skank.
You know what, though? He was awesome in Harry Potter.
Who?
He was.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yep.
That was for you.
I'm not on the Harry Potter series myself.
But no, she was absolutely fabulous. She scared children on the set, as it should be.
We always like
She
when they
scares
scare
children in real life, though. That lady's hideous. I think, and it's one of those things where the only reason she still gets roles is because she's married to Tim Burton.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, she would never be acting anymore. Because
she's always in a Tim Burton movie.
Make that paper, boo-boo. Get it how you can.
Yeah. But maybe he doesn't pay her, though. Maybe he's like, well, since I'm putting you in my movie, I don't.
Oh, no, she's probably like, this is how much I want. He's like, yes, hun.
He's like, I'm giving you Tim Burton dick, and you probably.
It's like, how much money can we get from the studio?
Johnny Depp dick on the side.
But like I said, I like Tim Burton stuff for the most part. I like Helena Bonham Carter and stuff.
See, I like Tim Burton, but like his stuff becomes too Tim Burton-y, and you're like, it's Tim Burtonified.
He's become a parody of himself.
I like it. I'm like that. You know what you get? A lot of stripes, a lot of muted colors.
A lot of Danny
Elfman.
And see that, but that's what bothers me. It's always the same cast, the same stuff over and over, and it's like, change it up a bit.
Yeah. No, I fully.
That's why Kevin Smith is awesome as a director, because he's done like some really good stuff, like Mallrats and Clerks, which are kind of quirky. He's done.
Wow, you said really good stuff, and you put Mallrats in there.
Hey, Mallrats was a good movie.
Get the fuck out of here,
Mallrats is great.
That was a classic '90s. But then he's done shitty stuff. But then he's done shitty stuff like Cop Out
and Chasing Amy.
Hold on, Cop Out. He just directed. That was not his movie.
No, but he did direct it. But
Red State.
But then you look at like
Bruce Willis.
But then you look at like Tusk, and you're like, holy shit, dude, he's got range. Where Tim Burton doesn't have range.
No.
Well, he's a big fish.
What was that one Kevin Smith movie?
That was also
I did like James and the Giant Peach.
Are you thinking of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? That was one of the terrible ones.
No, I love that movie.
I
love that movie. You shut your dirty word mouth. I love that movie, dude.
Hey, it's a great stoner movie, but it's not a great like blockbuster.
No.
Dude, I just love that movie just to watch it.
Motherfucker.
The one where
noise.
The FBI raided a fucking
cultist rolling fat, he's smoking blunts. Who smoked the blunts? He smoked the blunts. Roll them blunts and get blunts and
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, I mean, I even like Dogma. Dogma
was good. But see, that shows that Kevin Smith has range.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, he totally has range. I will give it
Where
that.
Tim Burton doesn't really have range. It's all the same.
What's the name of the movie where Kevin Smith did the FBI raiding the fucking cultist compound?
Red State.
Red State was.
And he did stuff that wasn't as good, like Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
He did not write that.
He did what?
Chasing Amy.
Did he actually do Daredevil? No.
He did not do Daredevil. He had a cameo in Daredevil.
Daredevil sucked. He did
that
comic
movie, Vulgar.
Oh, I did like Vulgar, and I hate clowns.
Vulgar was not his movie. It was Bryan Anderson.
What?
Brian Anderson and.
But he directed
was
it.
Brian Anderson. Yeah, that was Brian Anderson.
That was creepy, dark, and kind of cool. He was raped by a clown, man.
No, what? I was pleasantly not remembering that movie.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Do you guys watch Comic Book Men?
Yes.
I did not,
The dude
because
with
it's
the beard.
Kevin Smith being
The dude with the
egotistic.
giant beard, Brian.
Yeah.
That was his movie.
Okay, yeah.
That wasn't Kevin Smith's movie.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at that on IMDb right now.
That was just weird, man.
That guy, because I question, like, what does that guy do for a living?
Depressing, kind of. It was
Nothing.
dark. That movie was
But
hella
yeah, he
dark.
was a writer, so. And you know what I like about Kevin Smith too is, you know, even though he does put all his friends in the movies, he kind of mixes it up a bit. You know, it's not the same exact cast every
I
single
like him
time.
because he introduced us to Afro Man's Because I Got High, which then led us to Afro Man's Colt 45.
Cool.
Afro Man was sick, dude. I mean, that'd be because I got high.
I really wish I had a Colt 45 right now. That would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, Brian, you could handle Colt 45. You drink too much beer. Colt 45 would wreck your shit.
Yeah, because that shit's Colt 45 is nasty. Nasty. We have been on this show for roughly 2 hours and 10 minutes.
All right,
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy,
Well-
this is just random shit, fantasy, and we just went from there. That's cool. And for some odd reason, we still have one viewer.
Thank you, viewer.
I don't know. It's not even me checking shit. This is just some random viewer watching us. Thank you.
They're just waiting for us to get naked. It will happen. Don't worry.
No. I think
Brian's the only one with the camera.
Brian's the only one with
There's no
I'm the
naked
only one with the
this.
balls.
Hold on.
This keeps off the hook, dude.
They just keep looking at Hulk boob.
I'm
They're
fucking
like,
so
ah.
dude, that does help. They're like, it moves in the corner.
What? Boobs and Hulk? I don't know.
I think
I'm
it's
confused.
moves of
I'm not a
everything.
viewer.
People interested, they're like, oh, titties.
No,
You know what? I'm actually going to check the Facebook page and see if there's any comments.
no, there's not.
I'm actually
I
going to
think-
check the YouTube page to see.
No, of course not. Dude, no, we do this for us. Because we like to drink and talk bullshit. If anyone else likes to listen to bullshit, awesome.
Okay, hey, I think it's actually Siobhan. Siobhan's watching because she posted on Facebook, not on Facebook, but on our fucking YouTube, on the YouTube page, fucking Brian, LOL. Thank you, Siobhan, for watching.
Who's Siobhan?
Is one of our contributors to the page, Hudefa.
Okay.
Siobhan is Hudefa's wife.
Who's
Oh,
Thank you for watching us, Siobhan.
yeah, she's cool, dude. She's cool.
She's cool. She's cool people. She's cool peoples. She
While,
gave us
while
all-
you guys are talking about that, I'm watching videos of baby pigs.
You have a baby.
How
What?
cute.
Hey, we haven't given the. Oh, you gotta put your camera on, but we haven't given the anyone watching a glimpse of fucking Vivi for the night.
Oh, well, he's in the, he's sleeping right now.
Oh.
He's like hiding away, sleeping.
Oh.
You still,
It reminds me of Gary with his pig.
but you have
Greystoke.
What was that,
Greystoke
Brian?
Greystoke the pig.
The
is
guard
played
pig.
by Vivi the rat. Guard pig. The pig that barked. It was the story of the pig that barked. That's really what it was.
Yeah, he was the only guy I knew that lived like in a city with a pig. It's like, you know, not a farm, just we got a house pig.
Yeah, funny. I'm like you could, because in the city limits you can have a potbelly pig.
No, I know someone else that has a pig.
Hold on, you can have a potbelly pig, but it has to weigh under 250 pounds.
Huh?
Stoke was more than 250 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Medicinal Mike and his girl Megan, they got a pig.
But hold on, here goes some for anybody who remembers Gary from back in the days and the pig Greystoke. Here goes some trivia for you. That was Greystoke was actually the runt of the litter.
Damn.
No, Greystoke was the runt of the litter that was actually questioned if it was going to live or die. Greystoke stayed with me for the night, ended up living because I kept the pig alive because I gave it attention all night long. and all the Greystoke's
I bet you
siblings
did.
are the ones that died.
I bet you did.
I know. I didn't make bacon at that point. I don't know why. I wasn't thinking.
You're gonna just throw the whole pig on the barbecue.
I'm making bacon and put the pig on.
I'm talking about the pork belly before it becomes bacon. I swear to God, it's so good and juicy when you just eat it as a pork belly. There's so much fat.
Greystoke really was the runt of the litter that was everybody thought was gonna die. Go figure, right? That pig was crazy.
Well, guys,
Sorry.
it's time for me to wrap up because it's about 3:30 in the morning here.
Whoa. We still have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes to make it to 3:30 in the morning. Nah, we talked some fantasy. We didn't get into like Labyrinth, fucking Dark Crystal, fucking. We did.
Oh, now you bring them all up. Now you're bringing them all.
Well, because we were talking about. You talked about Hometown Buffet, Soup Plan. I'm like, fucking. It's geeky fucking cuisine time. I don't know what the fuck is that.
Tonight's just random night. It
was turned into random because it is fantastic or fantastic.
Buffets are like my shit.
I look up and Mr. Garrison is scissoring with a chick.
Whoa!
That's some hot scissoring right there.
I look up and I see Mrs. Garrison scissoring.
I like when, like, fucking.
No, that's the 300 episode. That's one of my favorite.
No, I like when she bangs Richard Dawkins and she's like, "Fuck my monkey hole," and I'm like, "Whoa!"
Flying spaghetti monster.
Flying spaghetti monsters.
I think
Lesbos
is a topic.
Whoa, that's a 300 episode. That one's sick.
That's the best one. Mr. Grant's.
Hulk boobs. What?
What Whole Foods?
South Park that he's watching, if it's Mr. Garrett or Mrs. Garrison scissoring, it's where she tries to fight the person 300 style at LeBeau, and she's like Lesbos, and they're like, it's LeBeau, and she's like, whatever, and everything's done in 300. She's like, I need to make a phone call, and it goes to slow mo. She's dialing the quick mo, and she's like putting it up to her ear. I was like, yeah.
Okay, now alright. So anyway, fantasy, not fantasy. Or whatever I fucking
Fantasy.
Fantasy. I don't know. With typing, I'm tired. I got off work. Like la 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 la. Wait.
I showed up late.
Pigs showed up late. Fucking. But fantasy's a topic. When Hobbit gets closer to theaters, I think we'll have to hit on this topic again.
I still gotta watch Desolation of Smaug, man. ADHD, motherfucker.
December, man. December.
ADHD. I'll just take that long just to get through the first half of Desolation.
You know what? You're gonna sit down. You're gonna sit down in the movies with me, because you know why? I'll fucking make you watch it.
I keep forgetting that I changed my Facebook name to Flappy Funkaflap.
Yeah,
I like the Flappy Funkaflap.
I'm like, I saw this. Who the fuck am I talking to right now? Asian man? Wait a minute, this is Matt.
Flappy Funkaflap.
So, Asian, thank you again for fucking making some new friends. Fucking like your page because, again, like you said, you like every page that they say you like. They ask you to like.
Every time they want me to vote, every time they want me to like something,
It's very true.
every time they want me to go do something, I'm like, oh, I'll go vote on your cutest child, whatever, dude. Like our page, dude.
If you're watching this,
listen to our insane podcast.
If you haven't even seen this on Facebook, like us on Facebook. It's Geeky. This weekend I'm actually gonna finally buy a domain name.
Put up the pop-ups
of
like
the website tomorrow.
on YouTube, and all the pop-ups.
I'll be
like
working on the website. Asian shout
We don't
out.
have a website. We're stupid.
I know. If you would listen to me, I'm going to be buying the domain name and then working on the website this weekend, tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, I know. Fantastic. It's fantasy coming true. I still have to sponsor my beer, Samuel Smith's. Not brown ale.
I got to sponsor my current weed dealer, the Sanctuary, right down there on Main Street, where you can get the finest meds if you're
providing medical marijuana for our friend Asian.
Yes, thank you for providing me bomb-ass weed for the humble shelf. Thank you,
Because he's
weed,
got
for
some-
providing a fucking bomb-ass cube to put on the humble-ass weed.
And we didn't do shift or what?
We will drive you wherever you
Woo,
go
woo.
from.
We thank any juggalos out there who watch us, even though we have a viewer. Siobhan, thank you for watching us. We appreciate it. But anyway, guys, this is Rock, Danger Pig, and Hulk with boobs crushing him, and Nikachu.
I'm Cadbury Car now.
We mean mouth hugs.
Cadbury Car. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always,
You haven't
remember,
ended it yet?
keep it geeky.
Like 5 minutes
And we
ago.
will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's Geeky. It's Rob. We'll talk to you guys later.